your mind, it's okay. Off your mind, like me.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mind. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, my ego don't come, my people make we shout, my ego don't come, my ego don't come, man of the masses, my ego don't come, this one not the off in mind. And in the touchlight every corner. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. My ego don't come. My people make we shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses. My ego don't come. Political. This one not the off in mind. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my egun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my egun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk, but thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh. My ego don't come. My people make you shout. My ego don't come. My ego don't come, man of the masses. My ego don't come. My ego diary political. My ego don't come. This man not the off in mind. Aha.
Hello there.
Mayegun la wa mo la mo do. Mayegun diary.
Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, and good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. And this is Mayegun Live.
Mayegun today, ọ̀rẹ́ ara yìí. Mayegun diary, lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary,
thank you very much for joining me.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Máyégún máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Share this broadcast, invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today.
Godfatherism, kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun, Mayegun diary. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o, kẹ́kọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu. Mayegun diary. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary.
Yeah. Thank you.
Àní ẹ̀sùn rákì.
While we wait for others, let's take a quick detour. Let's stop by in Bayelsa.
Lórí Facebook.
Who is collecting derivation. Are they not? Who is collecting and polluting your soil? Who is poisoning your water? You have no more fish. Do you see one there?
No way.
Get them out of the way. Sweep them.
Sweep them.
Create a boom, 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 boom. Boom revolution. Boom revolution. Boom, boom, boom. 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 Boom revolution. Sweep them away. Let them out. That happiness is here. That high prices is here. Is gone.
Àní Súrákì. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ Súrákì. Àní Súrákì.
High prices is here. Is gone. Hope is here. Is gone. And all that the balabulu, bulubala of Tinubu. We're going to come back to that. And why you see so many praise singers behind sick politicians, corrupt politicians, and name it, the dredge of the society, making the decision for the generality of the people. Now, why do you have so many of them? You have so many of them around these sick old men, praising them simply because of what they get in return. And this return, they come in different parts. Some of them get rewarded for being loyal enough to the right godfather, and they will become governors. But there are some things that we should always kind of never neglect. We should acknowledge whenever we are telling the stories of the actors, the characters that actually contributed to the contraption that Nigeria has become today. I have told you many times, I mean, I have never shied away from it. I have always been very, very, like, upfront, so to say, or say upbeat about it. That if we look at those who have contributed to our poverty, those who have contributed to our underdevelopment, the people that have contributed to our insecurity that we now have to battle with in today's Nigeria. I said before you point the fingers at anybody you want to point it at, do not forget to point it at ourselves, because in the last 23 years of Nigeria demonstration of crazy demonstration, Yorubas have been in charge of Yoruba land. Efik, Ijos have been in charge of their own affairs. The Igbos have been in charge of their own affairs. Same with the Fulanis and the rest, even though the giant, the giant share of the entire, of the entire resources is taken by the center. But we have continued to ignore the corruption, the contribution of these rogues who speak the same language like you and me. Okay? They speak your language, they speak my language, they look like you, they kind of almost do the same thing like us, because they claim to be the leaders or the opportune leaders from your different part of Nigeria. But there is something that we must all pay attention to. Yes, the imbalance in Nigeria has contributed largely to the poverty and the crime and whatever we are witnessing today. But can we also beam our torchlight into the trillions of Nigeria naira, including indebtedness that some of these rogues have dipped their people, making all these states, local government areas, and communities the breeding ground for the Nigeria's multi-dimensional poverty. Mind you, where you have a poverty, you have crime. Do you understand that? Where increase in crime, and as Nigeria is a crime scene where the top criminals are shielded, they've got immunity from any kind of crime, so to say, even if it's so public. But what happened to the breeding ground? Let's talk about that. In 2015, when APC, Egbekegbe, came in, Bokohari, after declaring that there was no money, they've stolen all money, right? But he did something that some of you needed to be reminded of. And what was that? It was that moment that the Paris Club, when they say Paris Club, this is like a group of lenders, borrowers, people who borrow more people money, right? So they have a name, they call them Paris Club. They are from different countries like that. They refunded some repaid debt of Nigeria. How? When Obasanjo was there, Nigeria was repaying back some loan until they got debt forgiveness. But that debt forgiveness didn't just come with all zero. No, it started from the negotiation that eventually said Nigeria should pay this part and keep the rest. And Obasanjo at the time could pay up that, yeah, and get the debt cleared for Nigeria, state and federal. Fast forward to 8 years after, they've made some error. Nigeria overcharged Nigeria, meaning Nigeria overpaid. So they have to return and refund some money back to Nigeria. But by the time they were returning the money, APC, Egbekegbe, they were in charge. So immediately that money came in. How much was the money? 620-something billion naira. The first tranche, Paris refund, they called it. And as the money came in, Bokohari shared the money to all of the 36 states in Nigeria. 36 states. So all these states, sorry, one sec. That's one of my security cameras here just connecting. So they got this money, right? Because when APC Egbekegbe came in, these rogues called governors in Nigeria, maybe not all of them fall into this trap, but majority of them, and I'll give you names as we get to that stage. When they got that money, 28 of them, 28 states in Nigeria, were unable to pay pensions, salary. Remember that pensions are deductions, deductions from your own pay. That means it's meant to be somewhere you are not supposed to be owed. But because they've depleted the whole thing in these states, what happened? They collected the money and still refused to offset these bills. Not much noise was made. Just about 2 months after collecting that, in 2016, early 2016, Bokohari called Emefiole. That was the beginning of printing money in Nigeria to satisfy these greedy animals. So what happened? They made the provision for another over 450 billion naira. Any state who still can't pay up all their debts, all of the people they hold, the workers, they should approach the Central Bank of Nigeria for loan to the tune of 20 billion naira to start with. Majority of them, they went for it as well. Now, we have now come to a stage where that wasn't enough. In Nigeria, talking about the robbing Peter to pay Paul arrangement, which I have shared with you many times, it is all about collecting the revenue from everywhere, from wherever they can make from everywhere, mostly from southern Nigeria. Documented. Now, when the money comes into a big cookie jar, then they begin to share the money according to the population. Remember, where the bogus figures comes from most, northern Nigeria. So which means with the numbers and the rest, right, they stand chance of taking a large chunk of that money to northern Nigeria. But that's a story for another part. However, the sharing formula says the number of local governments you have will determine the amount of money you're going to get from the initial accruement as the money they share. There are others they take. The federal government will take 55% of the money. The state government will take 25% of the money. The local government will take 20% of the money. But here is where the breeding of corruption, breeding of a poverty that you now see today as multi-dimensional poverty. So the federal government who has taken the chunk could do whatever they like with it, right? But the state governors who are meant to take 25% of that money, that is when you hear that your state gets 2.5 billion, 4 billion, 3 billion in disparate because of the population of your state. However, there are some extras. So this same state, we have another 9 of them. Before everybody takes the money, they have to remove what is called 13% derivation cuts formula, they call it. There is a law for it. This is for the oil producing states in Nigeria. That gives them extra 13%, or should I say a handful 13% of the money before the rest of Nigeria takes a cut. Now, here is where the double comes in. In these states, when the local government money comes, it doesn't go to the local government administrators. It goes to a special account. Here is the dubious thing, because I witnessed this in Ogun State as somebody from Ogun State who is very, very, very up to date about the politics of the time and even now. So when that money is coming from Abuja, the commissioner of finance of each state, they will go to Abuja like Bambi ala cup in hand or plate in hand. And then when they get to Abuja, they will meet the Minister of Finance. It will now say, your own 20%, 25% of this money for this month is 4 billion naira. As for the 18 or 20 local government areas under your control, your states, their own is going to be 4 billion naira as well, making it 8 billion. Well, you see, in that arrangement, there is already a secret. Well, it's not so secret, but it's secret. And I'll tell you how they operate that. The state governors who handpick their stooges as local government chairmen, women, and then councillors, right? So they promised them, or they agreed, that you see the one for their own states, 4 billion, their own cuts as a state government, and your own, which come to a total of 4 billion as well. Let us put it together in one account. And we can then develop each local government with that money. What is that fraud there again? That was the BFA's arrangement. But the fraud is that by law, that is wrong. It is illegal. Okay? But in their own arrangement, the local government chairmen, they will now meet with the commissioner of finance of their states, representing the governor. Remember, they have an account that is meant to be like joint accounts, state and local government joint accounts. Okay? That all money goes into. But you know what? Only the local government money goes into that account. The state money goes into its regular account. Right? And they all know this because the arrangement is this. Once you become a local government chairman, it doesn't matter what you tell the people. It's none of your business. You are just there as an appointee. It doesn't matter if they do you if you have an election or not. Right? So every month, they will now match all the local government chairmen to go and meet the commissioner of finance in their states. They will now give them forms, 2 forms. First one, a local government that got paid over 300 million naira. The chairman will sign and say he has received the 300 million naira. Then they will give him another form. And that form is the form that says he has also received or he has agreed to withdraw 100 million naira from that money. Now, ordinarily they should have about 200 million, their money. No, it's not their money anymore. Now, the second form that governors, that local government chairman signed, they are not going to give him the 100 million, okay? They are just going to say, go and bring the pay slip of where they do have the pay slip anyway. What is the salary of the local government workers? So we'll pay them, and they can choose not to pay them. This is how the local government became the special wallet of the state governors in Nigeria, and it doesn't matter, the political party. Now, I will tell you how this affects you. It's not that it's new. You know about it already, Abi. Now, wait. I am going to tell you how much this has contributed to the destruction of education, destruction of healthcare, and destruction of every part of Nigeria. That once you point our fingers at the criminals at the center, you see the rogues that some of you will finally say is one of our own, is not thieving. But Bokohari did sign a law, and that law gave autonomy to these local government areas. Ladies and gentlemen, up to this moment, a year or so after they signed that, your state governor and many, many like you, as you are watching this video, as you are witnessing the rot you are witnessing in Nigeria today, your state governors are in court to ensure that you see that primary health care, primary education and all that, and those community roads, community light, and things that your fund could go into, including the salaries and pensions of your old men and women who work and toiled for years in those local government areas. They are Yorubas, and they are being punished. They are being impoverished by the Yorubas. They are Igbos, and they are being punished, and they are being impoverished by the Igbos. Ordinarily, if Nigeria was to be a country, the people will get to know if they have any system at all in place would be how responsible their closest government, the local government, something that is not local anymore. It is now just like a local court. Like I said, I am going to break this down for you more on how this is so connected to you. And most of the time when people tell you that we are better off apart without Nigeria, what does that mean? I mean, is it Nigeria that has said they should be stealing the money? Oh, is it Buhari that said that they should not use the money for the people? Of course, it's not Buhari. And it's probably not going to be any other person you want to put in. It is that system. But again, education, they say, I want to believe, is the best legacy, right? Listen to Bokohari himself talking about what he believed that, hang on.
It has come to the attention of the
President Muhammadu Buhari hosts members of the Senior Executive Course Number 44 2022 of the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, KURU, to a presidential parley at the State House, Abuja. The Course 44 presentation focused on strengthening local governance in Nigeria, challenges, options, and opportunities.
The participants undertook study tours of 14 states of the Federation, sir. We visited 6 African countries and 6 countries outside Africa. And of course, this enabled us to have both local and international perspectives on matters concerning local governance.
Good morning. President Buhari, after listening to comments on the presentation by some members of the Executive Council of the Federation, the president narrated his own personal experience on the treatment of local governments by some state governments.
If the monies from the federal government to state government, say it's 100 million, let's put it 100 million. 50 million will be sent to the chairman with a letter that he will sign that he received 100 million. The governor will pocket the balance and share it with whoever he wanted. And then the chairman of the local government will see how much he must pay in salaries to help goes to development. Money for the salaries will be given and the balance will put in his pocket. This was happening. This is Nigeria. So it's a matter of conscience. The fundamental thing is personal integrity. May God help us.
While commending the quality of the
As usual, he had to throw that in. We must have conscience when you have law, a lawless place. Now, let me tell you how much this actually contributed to what you are witnessing today and why so many of you who want to understand the supposed complexity of Nigeria, tribal, ethnic, and the religious political space, it is not that complicated. Because most people who wanted to access the Nigerian space, they usually want to see Nigeria through the lens of sanctimonious sainthood. Like somebody like me now, wanting to talk about the rot and how much this rot has contributed, right, to the marginalization of my own people in Nigeria. So I am expected that if I want to see that, then I must be so used to seeing the people from my own ethnic nationality, right, as probably the people who never really do wrong. And even if they are wrong, it is not at my own prerogative to say so. I have to be sanctimonious in order that I could point fingers at every direction but myself. Well, that is why they say it is complex. It is not complex, I'll tell you. Most of what we are witnessing today, starting with this rotten leadership that we see in Nigeria, corrupt system, and multi-dimensional poverty, which doesn't actually know or spare you of if you are from any tribe or any religion or any ethnic nation, even social class and the rest of that. Do you get that now? So the leadership problem and those who are the components and the ingredients who made that happen to us are mostly the people who have the responsibility, should I say, who should be responsible to you and I, 100% chose to represent themselves in this regard. All, over time, decades of complicity from those who are supposed to reject what many of you probably feel so disdain about today. Then you realize that they are mostly they are the people who claimed to represent you and I in that table, on that table called Nigeria table. They couldn't complain. As they say, you don't talk when you are eating. And that is why instead of those who had the opportunity to put a stop to what has now become today's poverty capital of the world, the crime scene of the world, the most, should I say that, yeah? The most divided country you can come across in any part of Africa today. So divided, courtesy the failed ethnic leaders that you have in Nigeria. But how? I can tell you this for free. There are some local government areas in Nigeria, when their allocation comes, they go to the bank. The politicians controlling the part, they will go straight to the bank and they will withdraw every penny, every kobo, and they will share the money among themselves until the next one. And that may sound like it's so impossible. It is 100% possible. Yeah? We are today unsafe. Our economy in tatters, our youth unemployed, our infrastructures desolate. What else or who else would you rather look at and say, what have you really done for us from all the opportunities you've had representing us, whether we directly or indirectly sent to you? Like a direct question like that, then you get to see the picture I'm painting here. The picture here is this. The system in Nigeria, from all we know, is not put together to help you or help me or help anybody grow. Rather, it is a system put together that they now call for the survival of the fittest, which has turned many, many people today into what we say, waiting for their turn. Turn by Turn Nigeria Limited. In the last 23 years, Yoruba land alone have received over 24 trillion naira from the money they are sharing from Nigeria. And in this same 23 years, Yoruba land have raised, well, thanks to Lagos, Yoruba land have raised over 18 trillion naira conveniently in the last 23 years in internally generated revenue that could have went into developing the land. But why is there no development? But you have an army of criminally minded politicians, old and young, parading themselves as your past and present representatives. I'm using Yoruba land now. You can use where you come from and think deeper about what I'm saying here. Our people that are suffering most today, that we talk about all the time, most of them are not, majority of them are not living in those cities that you call the state capital. When you go to that community, that is where you are going to see the real poverty. There are 23 years of a fraudulent representation, or should I say, selfish representation from those who are meant to be Yorubas, for those who are meant to be Igbos, for those who are meant to be Ijos, for those who are meant to be, Fulani or Awusas, Kanuris, and the rest of them who have had power. So the point here is this. Nigeria breed criminals. And by so doing, Nigeria is not put together for yours and mine's sake, because a structure that allows rogues to multiply themselves or duplicate themselves in different forms in order to access the public fund, which has now created so much divide, that I don't know, maybe they believe that their prayers will still keep Nigeria one longer than the calamity that is about to befall Nigeria due to these criminals. No, look at it this way. You have local government chairman right now in your local government. If you are Yorubas, you agree with me, that the person who is representing you or who is claiming to be your local government chairman right now in Yoruba land is a Yoruba man. Now you know that the system, right? A system that made law, right? That said, whatever comes to that your community, for you to trace it and then hold that chairman responsible, that law is not respected by the same other part of a government, or should I say other organ of government. And here we are. If we have to blame probably anyone right now, speaking as Yoruba, some of you will probably look for somebody else to look and point at, because there's nothing wrong with criminals, Yorubas, milking you, impoverishing you, and at the same time making you unsafe in that same land that they met you before they got that power. Now, this is where being sanctimonious or being like above board So when you see it that way, you probably will have a chance of seeing the advantage. Because here is another one. When you tell people that, how is it then going to be in to people's advantage if there is no this kind of a sharing formula, this do or die system that continue to produce criminals? All they have to do is just to say they are Yorubas or they are Igbos, and you will still listen to them. You know what I mean? Now, it is Nigerian system that created that. Now, in a system where, for example, Yoruba land, or should I say the western part of Nigeria, has this autonomy. Now, from your law, you would have developed or designed what somebody like myself actually called, a sort of a unicameral system of government where I'll explain that by the way, but the point here is that a system, you could have designed a system that would have fenced off desperados. And when you do that, number one thing you are going to get, being independent or being being autonomous as a people or as a region, is not states. The state they created is just the structure put together by the Fulani northern oligarch and their southern counterparts, right? However, the advantage of being independent, right, is that number one, every interference that currently shaped today's lives or governance or politics and every other thing, including religion in Yoruba land, all of that will become a thing of the past. That's the advantage. The advantage number one, and the most vital advantage. Because listen, if you go out there right now, for example, look at our people who are currently organizing, organizing rallies, organizing awareness here and there. They've come under an attack in the name of Nigeria. Sure, you get, like, for those who have been attacked, for those who have been arrested, and for those who have been bullied in a way, they have done so in the name of Nigeria. But when you have your own autonomous region, number one, you will be able to actually take down the of those they have pledged their loyalty to, like you have in Nigeria today. There will be nowhere they are going to pledge anything outside Yoruba land. And the advantage of that is this: it gives you the opportunity to hold the pen and write your own destiny. Currently, what you have as Nigeria is like, it's actually meant to be an illegitimate country. What makes a country legitimate is when the people that makes up every component part of that country agrees to be together under one term or another, that they all agree. In Nigeria of today, we didn't agree to anything. You know that, right? So the illegitimacy of that Nigeria enjoys, right, gives those who are currently leveraging on that, milking us and the rest of the right, to be able to have something you can call a sort of a shelter, a home. But when you are free and independent, right, it will be so easy to fence out those who are real jobbers, career criminals called politicians. Because by your law, right, it will make your politics probably unprofitable for them. For example, if you want to be a governor in Nigeria, you need a godfather. Then after finding one, you also need at least over 5 billion naira to kickstart it. This 5 billion naira, how you spend it will be determined or decided rather by your godfather. The point is that in Nigeria of today, politics is business, and our brothers and sisters, our old men and women, our old young men and women, they are participating in this business to our own disadvantage. An independent Yoruba nation or autonomous Yoruba nation will give these characters no kind of incentive, nothing motivating to join the Yoruba politics if they are looking for money. Now, that will give you an opportunity, or should I say, like I said, the pen to actually write your own destiny. Nigeria won't give us that. You know why? Because if you look around, there are thousands and thousands of you right now benefiting indirectly and directly from this same rot we are talking about. So if the people who actually should feel the feeling of the government, who can own 100% of their own resources, channel the resources to their own use, development, and what have you, right? If this set of people, right, are being trapped in a Nigeria where politicians have to just bring out a huge amount of money, make selection for this those who are going to represent them in these branches of their business, governance, be political offices, right? And then you have no way to actually challenge them other than what? Wait for the time that they are going to run foul of their bigger thief up there, who is actually going to end up bringing an hammer. Then you say, yeah, finally, justice is being done. No justice is done when your resources are being depleted by a system that allows it. The system allowed it. So if Nigeria was to be like a country, possibly practicing, what do you call this? We practice in the UK. I don't know why that system suddenly disappeared in my head, right? I'll tell you. A system whereby the western part of Nigeria, comprising of the Yorubas and others, yeah, are able to unanimously be autonomous, right? You won't need to wait for any sharing formula anywhere. Your own local law, your own real law would have identified all your resources, natural and human, and it would have possibly invested so well in it, protect it for your own good, and finally make political office not attractive for somebody to go and take beyond. Thank you very much. Parliamentary system of government. Thank you. I didn't just want to say nonsense there until that comes back to my head, because I've got so much running right now. But do you get what I mean? An autonomous region will give the people of Eastern Nigeria to decide their own fate, including, sorry, one sec. I'm sorry about my camera. I think it always acts up that way. Give me a sec.
President Muhammadu Buhari hosts members of the Senior Executive Course number 44 2022 of the National.
Let's hope that it's going to stay put for a while before it started blinking again. I'm sorry about that, okay? And I don't know that what that does to your eye when you are watching. So do you get what I'm trying to say here now, right? The people of Eastern Nigeria, yeah, they will be able to decide and determine the system they want and how they want to develop. They can dredge all their river, turn them into seaports that actually develop their region without any interference or threat to anybody. It simply means that at this rate, yeah, the real and genuine development can actually take place. To start with, though, but you know that is not Nigeria. And in fact, that will mean a system that actually serves you, the one that serves you, the one that actually cares about you, the one that acknowledges that you exist as a person, the one that is possibly going to define your citizenship, who you are, lawfully, legitimately. And this time around, your citizenship is really protected. You see what Nigeria is today? It is just a den of thieves hangling about, the den, or should I say, the land of the hawks, vultures, hyenas, and other dangerous animals waiting to devour the weak. And that's not growth. That's not the future. And that is what is contributing to the instability you are witnessing right now. In fact, it is what is going to break up Nigeria eventually. Because you know one thing, you know something, right? When you put people in a bubble, okay, and you put more and more people in the bubble, at some point, the entire bubble is going to become so enlarged. And what are you going to get? A pop. This time around, it's not just going to be a pop because this is a bubble that some people are riding on. And when you look at it very well, it is a bubble, something that is not real. That's exactly what Nigeria represents. And when you look at the characters, trying to sweet talk you, or some of you sweet talking yourselves, you are ignoring the obvious, which is indeed usual, as in it is typical. It is what Nigerians does. You ignore the obvious and you hope that you can somehow miraculously turn the clock or turn the wheel against the system that is running the show. You need to pull it down or pull the entire thing down. How? It all starts from you realizing, why do you even want to? Elections won't save this. The poverty level we are witnessing today will escalate. In fact, the end game is going to be, at the end of the day, nobody will take country. That's something some of you feel like it's impossible, Abi. You will soon get to see that it is 100, more than 100% possible. The implosion, I am actually using the southern part of Nigeria now to make you see the damages that the system called Nigeria represents and how powerless some of you are. Because some of you will be asking me right now, okay, what do you want us to do now? Is that not what they do all the time? Of course, that's what they do all the time. But have you ever actually factor in the real damages that this does to you? That the damages or the contribution this has made to what you are seeing in Nigeria today, have you tried to connect the dots? And have you ever imagined how this is going to end? I'll tell you. Okay, today, you have more and more professionals. Should I call them professionals now? Yeah, professionals trained by that same system. We are talking about medical practitioners, construction engineers, and the rest of them, whose only dream, most of them right now, is to leave Nigeria. Now, let's use the medical practitioners as an example. Why do you have less and less and less qualified medical practitioners looking after your aged parents, looking after after your loved ones who are not living in the cities? They are now in the hands of half-baked, underpaid, mostly less motivated health workers in where they call the private hospitals today. Have you actually ever think about the impact this is actually having on the entire population who are majorly not in these cities, who also include supposedly people you love? And now, number one, there is no medical facilities enough to take care of them. You know that. Then those who are really trained are hopping out and leaving the country. You know that as well. There are quacks and the rest of them handling, serious medical, issues of the people, even when you have the money to pay. Do you know what that simply means, right? It simply means that you might be worried about the violent terrorists who are invading our lands and the rest of them, Fulani terrorists and the rest, right? And the rest and the other, right? You may be worried about them. But as it is, those are physical. Those are things you can possibly fight off. There are people who are willing and ready, and they've actually fought them off on many occasions, right? But have you paid attention to the silent killers that have now come to become part of us. The rotten healthcare system. How now did you get here? Those who have a chance of saving us, parading themselves as your governors, as your reps, as your local government chairmen and women, right? Who are milking you, are looking away and mostly are telling you, let us see. Those are the people doing it to us. That kind of damages are even more damning than the physical ones. And do you know who are doing this to us? They are the people who speak the same language like us. Their negligence and their complicit and all that in all of this tells you that if you look around and you are willing and you are so eager and can't wait to break away from Nigeria, you might at the same time start paying attention, or in fact, pay more attention to the people who are going to be in that nation or in those nations with us. Are you just seeing them as one of you? Are we seeing them as those who were like, oh, they are Yorubas, oh, they are Igbos? I know not all of us see them as that, but there is something you have to see more. You have to see more of the damages they have done. To some of you, it's about, everybody just steal money. Everybody just want to go there and loot and all of that. Yes, they want to. But have you thought about how much of that damages that does to you? Directly or indirectly? Now, there are many of us who live abroad. Fine. And guess what? I don't think there is any one of us watching me right now from any part of the world you are watching from who hasn't sent money for medical bill to somebody you love back in Nigeria, simply because they have to take them to a private hospital. And I don't know how many of you, even with that money, in those communities and all those areas, that you, even with your money that you have sent back your people, your loved ones, they still died. If they had access to the better healthcare, no matter how small, how little, or if it is there, they are likely going to still be alive today. Now, you see that damages. You can say, see what Nigeria has done to me. May Nigeria not happen to me. But when you say, may Nigeria not happen to you, are you sure that you are not also privately promoting and supporting or defending your kith and kin who are also contributing to what Nigeria is doing to us? That is where the bigger picture is. And that is where when we say, just like I've told people before, or just like many of you know, when we say let us go our separate ways, you will realize that the number one group of people that are against you breaking away from Nigeria, they are not mostly the people outside your region. If you look at the people who are like against Biafra coming, and they have spent every penny, they have killed people for it, to ensure that all these Biafra actually like died a natural death, you will realize that more than 90% of them are Igbos, young and old. And when you look at Omoweto, why do you not want Biafra? It is because one way or the other, they are contributing to the degeneration that the Igbo land is experiencing today. And that is their own contribution to what Nigeria as a whole represents. It's not for you. It's not for me. It's not for anyone. And if you pay attention very well as well, you will realize that these characters who speak your language and speak my own language, like I said, they hate their regions, they hate their land so much and so bad that the moment they get their share from Nigeria and they have to put up health insurance somewhere, they have to put their future insurance somewhere, they take them away, far, 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 far away from the land that gave them everything. Or let's say the land that they have stolen everything from. Where is the patriotism? Talking about that. I know so many of the people you call your elder statesmen in Yoruba land today, in that same rotten system in Nigeria, they have failed to provide and fund medical system, provide that for you. They have provision for all your elder statesmen. You just, he died in London. How did he get to London? This is supposed to be somebody who has no job, but the system provides for them. Not died somewhere in the National Hospital here or there. They died in Germany. They died somewhere else that they still have to put money together to bring them back to the place they have once walked about as their leaders. Don't make this sound like Mayegun. I don't understand what you are saying. You do understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying tonight is this. As many of us have seen through the charade, the lies that Nigeria represents, some of us are still being so kind of sanctimonious, refusing to acknowledge the complicit and then the involvement of the people from our own clan in holding us down to whatever Nigeria is doing to us today, because they get paid from that. They get rewarded from that. And if you are thinking about a republic, and if you're thinking about a nation that is different from what Nigeria is offering, I want you to have them in mind. They are not for you. And that talking about leadership here, they gave some money. Or should I point to talking about the Nigerian sharing, killing and sharing, killing and hitting what they make? So to say, do you know that apart from all these allocations and all of that that were being given to all these states, local government being swallowed and the rest of them, 9 states, I'm going to see if I have that chart, 9 states in Nigeria who are called the oil producing states in Nigeria, they got, they have received over 1.3 to 1.5 naira since last year. The last one they got is this you have on your screen, okay? Courtesy the cable, right? Now, Edo State, in the last, this year, they've, between 2021 and 2022, right? 11 billion. Imo, 5.5, excuse me. Abia, 4.8. Cross River, 1.3. And they have the outstanding of 792 million. Well, you have them on your screen, right? Do you know that it is only River State with a wiki that has managed to at least say, well, I've been calling everybody to come and commission this, commission that. That's what I use the money for. The rest of these 9 states, they are owing salaries. Delta State alone is owing people over 4 years pension and gratuity or something. Right? Akwa Ibom, 128 billion. And they will still receive another 77 billion. Bayelsa received 92 billion. And they are still expecting 55 billion. Ondo, look at Ondo. Ondo received 19.4 billion. Still waiting for 11.7 billion. Now that we can call them out, look at all this money, right? When this money comes in these states, the governor is the chairman. Okay? Some of them will just map out something and say the money, we use the money for this. Are you with me? And you can scream, you can shout, or EFCC can pick them tomorrow, or they can even say they are jailing them, they will free them again and the rest of that. But that actually leaves us poorer and poorer, because this should you call it token? Because some said, how can you say they are giving us back our money? It's our money. Okay. It's our money that they are giving back and then being looted by your brothers. The ones that are still going to live in Biafra with you. They're going to live in Yoruba nation with us. So, and our people who are powerless today in this Nigeria, some of them don't see anything wrong in that. To them, they are waiting to be appointed as SA, PA, personal assistants to this or that, and get paid. Doesn't matter. Let's just take it. Now, if you want, and if you are so interested in an independent region of or independent nation of the Yoruba people, you must understand what they call complexity in Nigeria. Is not complex. It is the cooperation of our own brothers and sisters in helping Nigeria to make our people poorer. And we are seeing it even when we talk about what Nigeria has done and this or that. Yeah, you can see the internal sabotage. You can see the internal destruction, which has contributed more to their quietness or their silence on so many issues that we have raised, why we said we don't want to be part of Nigeria anymore. So if you are looking for why Yorubas are not free, ladies and gentlemen, do not look far. You can see right there in the mirror, they are your brothers and sisters who speak like you, who look like you, and they don't give a damn if they impoverish you. They are doing it already. And when I started looking at those figures, I am like, wow, it's just free money. And that is why when the insecurity escalated in Nigeria, they are not interested in stopping them. Rather, they increased their security votes, which gives them more money that they don't have to account for. They are Yorubas. They are Igbos. When these terrorists come in and kidnap and kill, Fulani this, Fulani that, do you know those who want us to keep quiet? Do you know those who are hunting us down and jailing us or facilitating those? They are your brothers. They are my brothers. So if we have energy to share, if we have coordination to make, we must not be sanctimonious. I don't even know if that's even the right word. I'm trying to say we must or we mustn't ignore the obvious. The enemies that are sabotaging us, they are our own people. If we can overrun them, if we can overtake them, if we can overpower them, if we can stop defending them at every given opportunity, if we can stop turning this into a competition of don't abuse my leader, go and talk to your leader, go leave our leader alone. Yes, if you don't turn this into a rivalry of your worst criminals as your leaders, if we can run them out of that power, we will be free from Nigeria. Seriously. 100% serious. Because the reason why Nigeria doesn't give a damn about you, even though you are supposed to be a Nigerian in Nigeria, the reason why your citizenship doesn't make any sense to any of them, the reason why they can trample on them and get away with it right now is because those who are supposed to be defending you, if they should do that, they will not be rewarded the way they are being rewarded right now. And you will not be impoverished as much as you are being powerless today. Does that make any sense to you? Okay, hang on. Now, if you then know that those who are sabotaging us are the same people who are pretending to be defending us or fighting for us, once you clear that picture, right, then you will now have to question your own inner self. Okay? Are you willing and ready to take down those who have become the stumbling block from your own, from attaining your full potential as a human being and as a Yoruba man or as a Yoruba woman? Now, you see that motivation, that thing that tells you that whoever is kind of against that, having realized this, that you know now, that person, you don't give a damn if he's probably being rewarded or not. That person stands as your own number one enemy, the enemy that is working with Nigeria. And without that enemy, Nigeria will have no power over you. Now, if you then have that courage, it simply means you have the courage to reject those who are going to emotionally blackmail you. The moment you want to do something, the moment you want to push something and say, no, this is not right. Now, as a Yoruba man, I'm speaking to you as a Yoruba man now. So listen to me as that. And you should put yourself, or your nationality, in that same frame if you are not a Yoruba man. There's no fight here. Listen, there's no fight. This whole revolution of the thing starts from the mind. Some even said, we need the revolution of the mind. Now, that's what I'm trying to tell you now. Before you revolutionize, to show that you have revolutionized your mind, it starts from identifying the real obstacle, the real stumbling block. And if you see those who have contributed to our powerlessness, for those who have contributed to our vulnerability, for those who have contributed more to our poverty, for those who have contributed more to the destruction of what could have made us indeed a people that should be respected and revered, right? Once you identify them, right, you will no longer be able to be blackmailed by anyone that says, are you not a Yoruba man? Are you not an Igbo man? Are you not a Christian? Are you not a Muslim? Can't you just think, haven't realized all of this? Because if these guys have been faithful and honest and sincere, past and present, listen, they would have realized that what Nigeria is giving to us as a people is so peanut and so insulting that it is no other way or other ticket that is only meant to make our people poorer. They would have realized. They would have fought it. And fighting it would have probably given us a better share than what we currently get in Nigeria. But the reason why they are not, and they will never, is because whatever they get, it's like the thieves. When thieves get something, to you it might just look like, that's so small. He's not losing. When a thief steals a car of 1 million naira, and he said the price of a car, and you're like, why did you say, you lost 900,000 naira? No, he's a thief. He doesn't lose anything. It's not lost anything. He stole a car of 1 million, and he sold it for 100,000 naira. To him, he just made 100,000 naira. But to you, the owner of the car, that's 1 million naira worth of car stolen from you. That's exactly what the thieves in Yoruba land, the thieves in Igbo land, the thieves in Fulani land, the thieves in Hausa land, the Kanuri, everywhere. Every thief that looks like you, claiming to be speaking for you in Nigeria of today, every thief, they've lost nothing. Give us anything, we'll take it. When they know they can't fund that peanut, we never fund education. It won't fund healthcare. It won't fund the infrastructure. It won't create jobs. They know it. They don't care. Asking for more is like asking for the independence and autonomous region of Yoruba people. That would mean they will agree with you. They will agree with me. They will agree that there's nothing enough than owning and controlling the 100% of your life, your resources, and everything. Asking for that, is asking for the breakup of Nigeria. Asking for that is asking that the feeding bottle of your Yoruba, our Yoruba criminal politicians, present, past, and present, and the waiting list, and the rest of those who are waiting as well. All of you want to be councillors, local government chairmen. You are telling yourself you could make a difference in a system that is so fraudulent that it's just like a rent-seeking system. So when you say we need 100% of this, including our life, our laws, and everything, everything, you're asking to break up Nigeria. You're asking to take away their feeding bottle. Taking away their feeding bottle will make them jobless. I have actually found out that if you look at the politicians, whether Yoruba or Igbo or Hausa or Fulani, these guys have never been successful in anything. Go and do the research. These are a bunch of failures. They will tell you they are doctors. I have hospitals. I was a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a son. I'm a this or that. But go and look at them, the real ones, them, they are just career criminals who have never succeeded in anything. The lawyers among them have never tried any real case, local and or international. The doctors among them have never really performed any surprising or any magical surgery that captured the whole world and said, wow, they've known nothing. These are just scavengers, opportunists. And that is why the institutions that could hold a country, the institutions like education, healthcare, law and order, infrastructure, justice system, security, and the rest of them have become so corrupted. Even when they tell you they have a PhD, professor in this and that, blah, 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 blah background. Because they are just a bunch of never-do-wells, opportunist rent seekers. And Nigeria work well for them, not for you. Osun State, the deputy governor that just left Osun State, can you believe that? Supposedly, somebody who have been in government all their lives, feeding fat. Look at the deputy governor's quarters. They left just about a few days ago. This is where the deputy governor, this is how the quarters look like now. Bunch of rogues. And they are Yorubas.
Located beside the governor's lodge in the state government house, deputy governor's official lodge was built on an expanse of land containing a story building and a duplex behind it. It will be recalled that the incumbent deputy governor, Prince Kola Adewusi, alleged that his on-site visit to the official lodge indicates that several valuables, including electronics and fittings, have been carted away, rendering the lodge unhabitable. But his predecessor, Adegboyega Alabi, replied, saying that nothing has been looted in the said apartment. OSBC News visit to the said apartment revealed that the front building, which houses 5 bedrooms, a kitchen, toilet, and living room, were in questionable position, as the only mattress met at the deputy governor's bedroom could not fit into the bed frame. Although bed frames were seen in some rooms, but no mattresses on them. The kitchen was another place the news crew visited. One would be marveled with the situation met on ground, as either plate or kitchen equipment expected in such apartment were seen, except for an old model freezer and refrigerator. The wind that welcomed the team of OSBC crew to the second apartment in the deputy governor's lodge did not only catch the attention of all, but that of the security as well. It was discovered that lightings and electronic fittings are no longer in the rooms. No furniture, as they were all found empty. Straight to the car park, no vehicle was there as well. Speaking in an interview shortly after the assessment tour, the governor's spokesperson, Malam Rashid Olawale, condemned a situation whereby government property will be looted for any purpose.
We are able to confirm that truly the lodge was looted and pillaged. I'm happy now the media crew actually going there. It is unfortunate what has happened. Losing an election should not be the end of the world. And going about to loot government properties is unbecoming of whoever should be a patriot. So our comment is that luckily we have a panel that is working. The asset recovery panel based on the executive order issued by His Excellency. Anybody that has gone away with government property will surely account for it.
He noted that investigative panel have been set up, and anybody found culpable of having government property in its custody unofficially will be made to face the wrath of the law. For OSBC News, this is Saeed Adevoje reporting.
Those are supposed to be rich people, Abi, because that's how you see your politicians. He can buy your entire family, Mayegun. No, he can't. Nobody should be able to buy your family. No politician has money or anything. They don't have the pedigree. They don't even have any sort of morality in place to say they can afford to buy your family. Only slaves. Are you listening? Only slaves will look at politicians and say, my friend, you better watch your mouth. That they will buy your family. No. Except if you have become an humbled slave. And I don't think that's something complimentary. Your politicians are thieves. You don't get it. Whether young or old. If you are on social media trying to defend them or find anything to define them, it's because it's either you are naive or you are just stupid or you are just a liar. Somebody who has somehow lost his soul. You can never be closer to them and say what Mayegun is saying is not true. Your politicians are thieves. I have seen them up close. I have seen the local government chairman up close. I have seen state lawmakers up close. I have seen the state governor up close, very close. And they're a bunch of thieves. But you will never believe that these guys who get to what they do every day is about sharing money, what is coming up. Oh, you want to go to one ceremony? Oh, you go and arrange money. Deputy governor want to go to ceremony for women empowerment. Oh, the memo. Oh, yeah, they have to give the deputy governor 10 million naira to go and attend to the women empowerment. Oh, they have to approve 50 million because deputy governor want to share. Oh, governor's wife want to go and see pregnant women. Oh, a memo. What's the memo? 30 million naira. Oh, yeah. Is that not what you do? So I've seen them up close, but you would never, ever, ever believe politicians that you believe are living in luxury. Especially all of you, when they say government house, governor's house, deputy governor's house, you expect some luxury because you know how much they are budgeting now for furniture, for TV, àwọn wèrè, àwọn mojo rolari, bunch of never do well. So I don't see your politicians as real people that deserve any respect. In my world, though, sincerely speaking, not because I don't feel respect to anybody where I just won't give my respect to, but you don't give these rogues. You will never believe that they will now have to remove sockets, remove a lamp holder, remove kilo leto yen. And it's not the first time. That's what they do everywhere. We saw it in Edo. Yes, we saw it in Edo. We saw it, I've seen it almost everywhere. We have seen it in Nimo. Sure, you remember when Hedioa came in. And that's exactly vandalized everything, took everything. And you're just like, this is a bunch of rogues, garbed in gold loins and clothes and all of that, driven in a golden Rolls Royce. These are a bunch of thieves. And they're everywhere. Just to put credence. Yeah, to give credit to what I have told you about the rogues among us. Even though, unfortunately, when they are completely out of favor, out of their system, some of them will begin to identify with the Yorubas. They will begin to remember that Yorubas have not been treated well. In fact, life should have been like this for the, if the Yorubas should be like, then they will now turn to elder statesmen. But when they have the chance, they've done their best to ensure that we have our own fair share in the poverty or multi-dimensional poverty of Nigeria. Do you understand? So I thought I should share that with you. People where they steal generator, government house generator, they will steal government car, they will steal you know what I mean? Like kilo litoye. Anyway, Adedansa came in and said that Tinubu's cousin, Oletola, left him a debt of 76 billion naira. Oletola said he left the balance of 14 billion naira in their banks. In the process, with the video we just seen, I don't think I'm going to believe either of them. Because at the end of the day, now the Osun people, now una go lose. Don't take it too personal because it's true. You see that deputy governor house that they said they have looted. Now go buy another ones. You go buy another one. And typically, when their own time is also like coming, right? They will do the same thing. So you're going to bear the cost from now on, as I believe, because all it takes is just going to be for these rogues to become friends again. What about the debts? I don't know what Adedansa has promised you, but I can tell you this free of charge. You can just brace up for what the entire Nigeria is cooking now, which Osun will have his own share, and just like everywhere else too, as they are looting, depleting. I mean, rogues with all the millions. Look at what they said. They said that after budgeting over 3 billion for us old rocket kitchen, they no fix no pot. As old rocket kitchen, every year they budget 4 billion, 3.5 billion, 5 billion to buy kitchen utensils for our Rock clinic. But they say, if you go there, say you want cook indomie. You can't because there's no gas. Same thing with their clinic, as old rock clinic, where Bokohari that is suffering from a God knows serious medical ailment, right? They are budgeting over 7 billion, 6 billion for the as old rock clinic. Aisha came there and said there's no paracetamol. That's why she relocated to Dubai. She no one die young like Agbalumo. Meanwhile, the rest of you can continue to die young like Agbalumo. So that's the system. So if they ask you to go and do it, what you are doing is when you go and vote in during their election, as you have, some of you would do, right? What you are doing is you are validating the system. Whatever you get from it, you have to live with it. You can't turn around and say, oh, we no go agree, we no go agree. The system says they should shoot you and kill you. Do you now see it? Maybe that is the complexity you are talking about. But if you understand this whole thing, you realize that you probably will save your fight for Nigeria later and fight the number one stumbling block in your different region. If you get rid of them, if we get rid of them, if we incapacitated them, if you run them out of town, however you want to do it, politically or the rest, I don't know. I actually know. But it just doesn't mean that that's the only way. But however, if you don't get rid of them, it is just going to be a tide against us. And that's why I won't stop preaching to make you understand that it's not complex. So there is a collective cooperation to keep us like this, to keep us frustrated, poor, and most of the time to get the best of us out of Nigeria, so that since you are going to find your way out, leave those who are already going to be trapped there. We will deal with them, we will bully them, we will subdue them. And it seems that it is working. That's one thing that some of you feel like is juju, APC juju. There's no juju there. All you have to do is this, like what they said Stalin did back then in the old USSR. Stalin, a dictator, you know what he did? They said he showed the people how Stockholm Syndrome works, something like how the oppressed gets used to the oppressors and they begin to pray for their oppressors. They begin to worship their oppressors. And whenever the oppressors actually touches them, oppresses them, they don't look at it as an oppression. They look at it as violation on their part. They must have done something wrong. We must have done something wrong that made the government to do that to us. Why are you all protesting, sef? When government said we shouldn't? If they kill you now you cause them, because government said we shouldn't, do you understand that now? You get used. You know what Stalin did, right? I believe it's Stalin. I think it's Stalin. You know what he did? He grabbed a chicken, right? A very active chicken, right? And in front of thousands of people, right? He started plucking the feathers. And as he's plucking and pulling the feather, the chicken was in pain. Started pulling and pulling and pulling until he pulled the last one on that chicken. Now, the chicken is now bare naked. There is no feather on the chicken. In pain, some of the part of the chicken bleeding. When he dropped the chicken in agony, the chicken stuttered away, like it just moved away, like expectedly, like you have to run away from the person who don't treat you that way, Abby. Then he grabbed the corn, maize. Stalin started giving, started throwing the maize down. Guess what? The chicken started picking up the maize and started walking towards him. The man that just brutalized it just there. He started walking towards it. And when he got straight to the feet of this dictator, with so much grains there for the chicken to pick, and explained to the people, he said, this is it. when you have suffered so much under oppression that you have become, many of us are born into the oppression. Oppression, left, right, and center. Yeah? We are born into them, and we have come to learn how to defend the oppression. There's nothing wrong in defending oppression, especially if you are doing the right thing. Let me tell you something. Some of us some of us have problems. Let us say it. Most of us have problems. Sometimes we needed to be treated like that. You needed to be beaten and beaten like that. Some of us, they needed to kill ourselves. Do you understand what I mean? Stockholm Syndrome. Oh, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. Why are you thanking Jesus? They just brought lights. Okay. What do you mean they just brought lights? Our transformer blew 8 months ago. We bought another one, blew. Then one politician, our politician Honorable so and so just brought us 1,500 kVA powerful, and they just activate it now. So, oh, okay. Thank you, Jesus, then. Thank you, Jesus. Honorable just gave us transformer that is not going to blow. Stockholm Syndrome. No, it's Stockholm Syndrome. That's not, it's being generous. Of course, I agree with you. They are just being generous to you by giving you light. Do you know how many school buses the governor bought for schools in this state? We should all be saying the truth. We should all be thanking them. He can decide to steal the money. There's nothing anybody can do to him. That's true. He could steal the money and you're not going to do anything. Let's be grateful that the anti-graft agency that saw him transferring the money abroad caught him, and they were about to arrest him and the people working for him, and he just decided to turn it into bringing buses back to you, commercial buses, and thank God. What if he transferred the money and he used the money to buy a house abroad? Okay, what if? Stockholm Syndrome. You can be educated. In fact, you may not even be poor. We are all products of a bullish, corrupt system that systematically shaped us to always somehow make all the abnormalities look normal. It's a system. We excuse it, don't we? We do. And that exactly is where they begin to tell you that it's not complicated, though. And you ask yourselves, where do you belong? Because the moment you realize the realizable, right? In a system that makes us this way, incapacitates you, my brothers and sisters, you cannot ignore the actors that actually made this permanent and usual, like normal. So Nigeria bullied all of us. Now some of us just stay stubborn. Do you know the name they gave to us? Rebels. You are becoming a rebel, Mayegun. I know. Mayegun, you see, in Yoruba land, but we all need to know that our elders are. I do know that. Some of you are speaking from the PTSD you got from the bullish system that they born us into. We were born into it. So there's nothing wrong, okay, in you feeling a bit confused when you try to defend what is not right. You are born into it. You are conditioned to be like that. It doesn't matter whether you are educated or not. It doesn't matter whether you are poor or rich, whether you are in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. We're born into this. As Yoruba people too, you must remember that in Yoruba land, bang, Oshe, I heard you. Don't worry. But shall listen. In Yoruba land, they say, in everything you do, your name is more valuable than gold and silver. I belong to that generation. I know some of you know Kia. I understand, because you are a product of that Nigeria who has now normalized abnormalities. I'm still from that old generation. I'm not that, old or young. So which means in everything you do, you must be very, very careful where your name is being mentioned. Oleni is something that Yorubas who value names will fight you if they are not thieves. It doesn't matter how rich you are. It doesn't matter what you possess. In Yoruba land, they said if somebody is dressed in a gold loin, shining and expensive, classy and super, looking mint and brand new. Listen to me. If the person a thief, to us in Yoruba land, at least from the generation I come from, it no matter that person a thief. Even if Nagari you they drink, you are better than that person because everything he owns, or you see him on display, we believe he's stolen. And in Yoruba land, we believe that thieves also grow old. We believe in Yoruba land that criminals also grow old. Just as some of you believe in your culture that foolish people also grow old. Do you stop calling criminals criminals because they have grown old when they have not stopped their crime? Criminal way? Sorry, it's a question, no? Do you change a foolish person from being foolish, even if they are still being foolish, simply because they are old? I don't think so. Do you understand? So we, the people, must know when a system is rigged against us. Okay? And if you are called a rebel for thinking outside that box, listen, you know be only you. I discovered that when I started Tico. I was just going to be expressing myself about the rot. And I'll tell you this again. I wasn't motivated to do my Egun's diary political by anything. I was enraged. I was angered to just want to express myself publicly. The moment I came to the UK, and I kind of had the chance of moving around a lot back then, and somehow everywhere I went, and I just see how small or big, coordinated, arranged, orderly, and the rest of them. I'm talking about not even just the people, just the infrastructures that served the people. Everywhere I went, I was angry. Because when I left Nigeria, I didn't leave Nigeria from one hotel in Lagos or Ibadan or Abuja. I didn't leave Nigeria or leave Yoruba land from one special porch house where they are, pampering me and all of that. No. Now, Okada carry from Odogbolu to the garage. Enter Korokwe from there to Shagamu. From Shagamu, enter another one to Ogijo to Korodu. From Korodu to somewhere in allowance where they go buy me 2 or 3 bottles of a Star. They say I go need them on top of the plane. So I saw the rots first hand on my way out. So it stayed here. So it wasn't luxury. It wasn't sort of a luxury for me living. I saw through it. I went through the whole thing. And it was like even on my last day of living, So that was the picture. So looking around and seeing things look like, this is not magic. These are not done by magicians. These are done by people who knows that whatever they do is going to serve them, serve those who also use them, and serve the generations that are going to come after them. How could they not do this for us? I was so angry. And I started fuming on social media. Some will say, you don't need to curse. You don't need to abuse. So you can say, I say, you better let me abuse, because that's the way I can express myself. For those who know Mayegun very well, then, in my kitchen, yes, I was angry. And it got me more interested, because before I left, I was so like into them and I know all of their actions. I just got more angrier. Then when I saw young people putting up lies, defending these criminals, I became angrier and angrier. So people who knew Mayegun then would tell you, that guy, the way he be saying all the time in the day angry. That guy, every day, anger. Everything angry. I thought I was alone. But look around you today. A lot of people will tell you, I have been following you, Mayegun, for the past 8 years. Ask them what that Mayegun was then. It was the anger. So let them call you a rebel. You want Yoruba nation, believe it, hold it. Do not be persuaded from it. Do not say, because somebody did something or somebody is doing something, that has changed your mind. Where are you going to go back to? Where are you going to go back to? To Nigeria and begin to hope again? Isn't that a waste of time and waste of life? Something you believe that you are now above? Even if you are still trapped, if we are still trapped in this Nigeria, which we are, it's not going to be for long. I personally believe that it's not going to be for long. There are things that are going to give way over time. The people who force Nigeria together are already living. Are you with me? And those who are going to succeed them have already helped, put Nigeria on the path of break up. So don't give an excuse and say because somebody is not doing it right. Oh, because there is wahala. Oh, because I believe this one and that one is. Come on, man. Except if your knowledge and understanding of getting an independence or living in an independent country of yours, where your language is your own official language, where your currency represents your value and ethic and morality and everything that is you. If you have managed to overcome that confused state of mind of so many Nigerians, even if things have not really been what you want it to be, you don't want to go back to that, do you? I don't think it's this. You don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to that. I can't see the light. Even if the majority are yet not on that path, let them call you a rebel. Let them call you somebody that is thinking outside the box. Let your friends and your friends and family, let them say, why is it always you? Because sooner or later, they're going to join you. If you get discouraged because somebody is doing something or some people are doing, no, come on. You shouldn't want your own country because somebody wants you to ask for it or because somebody else wants it. I want a Yoruba nation because I understand what a working country looks like and to whose advantage is a working system. And if the people are allowed to actually make that choice, you don't understand that power, do you? Because Nigeria never gave you that. Nigeria never gave us that chance, that power, okay, to decide how we want to be or live or how we want to be led or ruled. But ruiners of Nigeria have never given us that. So the imagination of that, the expectation of that, and the understanding of that will never make me want to pick up again and say, okay, because some of these people are not serious, I am now pro-Nigeria. Come on. It's a waste of time, waste of life, waste of existence. If you are not going to be part of the generation that's going to make it happen, do not be part of the generation that is going to make it not to happen. by your own pessimism, Nigeria has suffered us nothing concrete. And the reason is because those who are supposed to speak for us don't give a damn about us. You need to know that. You need to understand that. You also need to accept that. Now, when you accept that this is what the situation is, I promise you, you are never going to be comfortable with it. And when you are not comfortable with it, you can pick up that card where they'll call you a rebel. Why are you being rebellious? Why don't you respect elders? Don't let anybody bully you, blackmail you with some of these free talks, empty talks that kind of hold a lot of people down. I don't want people to say I don't have respect for that. The elders don't have respect for you. They don't. Have you not noticed? It doesn't matter where they come from. Does Bokohari have respect for you as a northerner? Do you think he does? Does Stephen think it does? I don't think so. People who respect you will never treat you that way. They will treat you this way. Look at your economy. The young people, they won't keep quiet in the face of all of this. Now, these are the symptoms, or let me say, are the signs that you probably didn't choose this. We didn't choose this. Not probably. You did not choose this. We didn't choose this. So if you want to understand what it feels like, some of us have been imagining it. And we want to preach it. We want to tell it to those who are in the dark, confused. Nigeria is not complex. The criminals are trying to make you confused. Some of you are willingly want to be confused. But guess what? If you see the light, even if it's the only you, do not confuse yourself. When you stand up for Yoruba nation, you are doing it for yourself, for your family, for your children, for your loved ones, and most importantly, for the land where you are born. The one that technically is no longer yours, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Technically, the lands in Nigeria is not yours. Even though they have been trying so many means, so many ways on how to make it theirs, using that same Nigeria, but trust me, technically it's not yours. Some of you don't know that, do you? And that is why, if you know how powerful that is as a people, as a person, don't go back into that darkness of confusion. Okay? Because the more and more you understand why it is inevitable, it is important, the better for all of us. And in fact, the good for the generality of all of us, because the people who are also in the dark, they could see the light through you. I have seen it. And I'm not going to let anybody or charlatans or anyone from anywhere make it look like it's a mirage. I'm not going to let what Nigeria represents, that we all know represent the confusion, divide and rule, in the midst of poverty, the midst of chaos, insecurity, joblessness, and so much more. That is what Nigeria represents. That is the confusion. That is something that will make you ask, when is it going to come now? Save us from this. Are you sure that after you are saved, because look at it that way, look at it this way, you are saved by the information you know, Nigerian politics, the characters in it, the policies, the religious politics, and the game behind it. You know all of this. And you realize that standing up for Biafra or Yoruba nation will save and spare you this type of confusion in a way. And you've seen that. But you also know that your slave masters, who have derived so much joy, and so much reward from keeping us oppressed, suppressed to this day, those who have enjoyed and then, they're not going to let you go just like that without a fight. So if you as one person is a light. All you have to be or do for us when you believe that much is to touch another candle, light another one, and light another one, and light another one with the real and truthful information, the one that has worked for you. But if you're confused because of all that is going on, I'm going to say don't, in a way, blame your going back on that. I'm going to say you should, as an individual, after all you know, after what you have come to realize, think about why you left all those and choose a path of referendum, independence, autonomy, whatever name you want to give to it. You left that horrible living out of your reality. So I would say you should question why you actually decided to drop Nigeria in the first place before you go back. And I can bet this. If you joined the crusade for Yoruba nation or Biafra, because of an individual, I'm going to ask you to review that again. Because in my own world, individual or individuals, they could detour or betray. Does that then mean the end of your reason why you want to be free from this whole confusion? So when you want to excuse of going back to Nigeria for any reason, just remember all I have said so far. In a way, and think if it is not actually ideal, more freedom to be a rebel against a system that is rigged against you. I've shared my part. I'll let you do yours. I'm going to the Empress. Thank you very much. Prayer docents. Thank you very much as well, ma. I got your message. The Empress, as usual. Thank you. I'm going to take one or two calls, and then I have an announcement, by the way. We said that on Mayegun's Diary Political through the Yoruba Union organization, the Igbimoma Jakobaje Ile Yoruba, that some of us here are member of. Okay, so we are proposing that we should maybe send out some support, this time food, to at least 1,000 Yorubas in Yoruba land across some communities in Yoruba land. 1,000 people or more. We are looking into, we are proposing that, okay? And as some people have already said that, and listen, you know me, when people say, Mayegun, let's do this, all I have to do is to throw it open, okay? And then I give it every support I can. So if all of us feel like we have been talking about all this wahala, this poverty, this or that, blah, 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 and somehow we would like to reach out to the this period before Christmas or before any of the festive period this month, I would like to hear from you, okay? And if we decide to, then we will raise the fund from our platform that we normally use for this purpose. And I am going to, if we agree to go ahead, okay, I am going to open it up with ₦1 million, which is going to come from our own purse, okay? So if we decide to raise this money, I can tell you that we can launch it with ₦1 million cash, which is available right now. But if we choose that, if majority says no, okay, so be it. In a way, I know nobody, I mean, majority won't say no. But let's just have a word around that. I'm going to go make myself another cup of tea. And when I get back, yeah, I will take the calls. Okay, we're not so many tonight, but it is fruitful. I've poured out my mind, And I hope for every one of you who are just joining me, you will take a time and watch this from the start again. But don't go anywhere. I will be back to take a few calls tonight.
Onyedu iPod, Omeri Onendizu, Oniriya, Abakare, Mama Daora, Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two, now Python that's three. Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python that's two. Na Python that's the three. Unapori Meri Nande go Onyedu iPod, Omeri Onendizu, Oniriya, Abakare, Mama Daora, Unapori Meri Nandi win the war. Python that's one, Python.
Waiting on the Supreme Court on that. We are waiting for the day the Supreme Court is going to say they want to speak on the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Olato Kumbo, is that you still there?
I'm still here, always.
Talks, Baba, how are you?
Brother,
brilliant.
You know, the last time we came to London, and there were a bit of skirmishes at the event. You know, say because of you, I said the last time I came to London,
right?
And we had a bit of skirmish at our event in London.
Yep.
Yeah, I got a bit of enemies from that, but I keep telling them that I'm a different breed. I fight what I believe in, and I believe what I want to believe in.
That's right.
And I asked the guy the question. I said, "Do I have the choice to do that?" He now said, "We need choice." Okay, then honor and respect my choice.
That's right.
My ego is speaking the truth. That is the truth. Now listen to me. That is the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Now honor him. Don't fight him. Why did you take your time to listen to him and honor his own truth, that what he believes in? I was of a different perspective 7 years ago, and I caught up on a chap called Mr. Badero, and I said, "Who the hell is this guy?" I even called my dad. My dad was like, "Oh wow, that is you know."
That was the thing. I was always angry. Like people will even send me and say, "Mike, why are you always angry?" I'm like, That's the way I want to express myself. It doesn't mean that I'm always angry. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know. I couldn't make sense of why they are punishing us or making us go through this hell. And I was new in the UK, and everything I was seeing just makes me angry.
Your annoyance was a breed of what I was annoyed about. But I knew this annoyance a long time ago. Like I keep on telling you, it's a lot of more. You have seen my picture and everything. I grew up in VI. I went to Corona School in Victoria Island. I went to FGC or the Bolini Ilue. Those who know me and know my voice will know who is talking. You understand? But it doesn't bother me at all because I just call you my coach, but I forget that. I keep telling you that when I saw things that, and when I saw you that, then I saw the vexation in people. And you know that day that you came to the event in London, I was really looking forward to see the reaction of people towards you, and I saw it for real. I'm like, wow, this is how your life and your children can be in the future, and you're angry with him for people who don't even care about you. Michael, I don't realistically, let me tell you the truth, brother. What's in my peer playing Eto on a neutral day. There's a lady that called, I think it was a day or two ago, and said, Michael, I really called to thank you. And you're like, okay, what are you thanking me for? And you're like, okay, Michael, look, she can't say, I just want to thank you. And Michael, Olatokuma is doing that to you tonight. Michael, I just want to thank you. I just say, Michael, Mr. Badero, thank you. I have a link to you because I studied in your own town, Lubolu. And bear it in mind, let me say this to you, that people don't understand what happens in realistic. That at a point in time that I was in Odobolu, you were in Odobolu. If Yoruba is correct. But at a point in time, I might have come across you and walked across you in Odobolu town. And now,
you see that Fego, yeah? That time, if you were around there, if you are there around 90, 91, 92, 93, 95, any of those years, by the way, okay, you will remember that, what do we call it, federal, Omi Federal, like water corporation. It's not water corporation, it's so next to your school. That big one. Sure, you remember now? When we were so young. So that usually is was the place where those of you who are running away from school, coming to town. And some of us who have to come with our bath to fetch water. We are talking about, I'm talking about 15, 20 kilometers away from my house. So I have to come there, fetch the water.
Michael Morosi.
Do you remember? It's like the back of your school.
I bought Amala for you 30 years ago.
Bless you. Talks, Baba. Anyway, it's just a small word.
Thank you so much. Like I said, that auntie came and said, thank you. I want to thank you to you. Thank you, my brother. God bless you.
And you too. Now, that's Olatokunbo calling in from London. Okay. So the line is still very much opened. Okay. And hang on. If you have been watching all this while, okay, that means that you probably enjoy this conversation, don't you? Now, if you do, you can take a moment and just like the broadcast, share it if you haven't, and even subscribe if you haven't. They are just to show that you probably would like to be back. Just saying. So I have another caller on the line. Here we go. Hello there.
Good evening, good afternoon, Michael.
A good evening and afternoon to you over there. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
Well, I'm surviving. Thanks for asking. So you're alive.
I want to add more to what the first caller just said.
Olatokunbo, yeah.
Olatokunbo said, I want to say thank you. May God continue to be with you and reward you.
Amen.
kó fẹ́ lóyún lọ́kàn ẹ̀ ló máa rí lágbọ̀rọ̀ lọ.
Àmín.
Gbogbo èròǹgbà wa ni pé kó dáa.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Àti ní ìbàjẹ́. That's the few things we can do to help whoever we think we can help. You see everything you talk about today when it comes to infrastructure, roads, education, healthcare. Those are the things those are the stuff that take people out of poverty.
At least it might be little. If they use them right, we won't be this poor.
When you have a basic amenity, your sense of belonging will be different.
That's right.
The way you think will be different. You want is it because you live in a better country? We want it to be. We want
same
to
thing
be like that.
I bet you know deserve any.
We won't deserve it, but people don't see it. When you talk about education, and to go Sumara Luju, local government
it's local government.
Governor ṣe ní láti wá sí state yẹn. Once local government chairman bá ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ ẹgbẹ́ kó ṣe ṣe.
Because local government ló máa ensure pé ọjà wà orderly, the street is clean,
right.
The refuse are collected, the primary schools are supported.
Right. Nígbà tí local government chairman wá ti ní ọ̀rọ̀ tó wà lẹ́yìn kò kàn ẹ́ o. Ó ti gbowó ilé tó gba ó ti relocate kúrò ń bẹ̀ ó ti kúrò ní.
Ó ti ẹ̀gbẹ́ ń bẹ̀ mọ́ kò gbé local government yẹn mọ́.
Ó ti kúrò lọ́gbà ó ti lọ ra ilé sí Banana Island. So àmọ̀rí ò bá àpò ló fi ṣe. Which is unfair.
It is.
Níjọ́kan ṣá. Ká màmá bá àwọn people one way or the other. But there will be a day wọn ní ronú pé nǹkan táwọn ti ṣe sẹ́yìn. Ní oúnjẹ àwọn yìí o gbogbo owó náà tán àkọ́yà tán ń ṣe bó ṣe wọ́n ẹ̀ wọ́n mú lọ sẹ́nìbù ẹ̀ náà.
Rí bó ṣe ń kú bí pẹ́pẹ́yẹ ni pẹ́pẹ́yẹ gan last jù wọ́n lọ. If you look at some of them the way they die you just be like kí ló dé tí ó yẹ sáré kú kí ló ṣe. Because they don't even pay attention to this healthcare. They don't care about it. But they print out manifestos. They print out different flyers about healthcare, education, but they don't invest in them.
They don't. They only tell you this is what we want to do to gain people's trust. Then when they get into the office now, they do something otherwise. Politicians Desmond
Idiot,
people once you join them, you join the bad wagon.
System.
You know, I had someone that is pretty much close to him one day. Do you know at the very first time in Nashville? I'm just sharing a little bit of my experience with the Bible.
Right.
Do you know that man Koto Fasino and Lonipe and Lomotio? If you Timbo Walo Lerimo Oko Guinea or Jawaya and Wasile. Do you know within 2 hours, Maego, Ileti effect is more than 200 houses?
Wow.
I saw something that day that amazed me. NES, when the generator kọ̀ọ̀kan wá sí ẹnu òpó kọ̀ọ̀kan from the power iná ilé kọ̀ọ̀kan.
Wow.
So God who made me. Ṣé àwọn nǹkan tó wà amazed mi nínú ọ̀rọ̀ tí mo sọ fún yín sìn? Wọ́n padlock generator yẹn.
Wọ́n fi lẹ́ńbẹ̀ tó ń rán ni.
Wọ́n fi lẹ́ńbẹ̀ tó ń rán ni. From morning to now, that light took them 3 days láti reinstall. Throughout the 3 days, àwọn NES ń wá síbẹ̀ wá rí fuel generator yẹn. Because some of the people you buy, there's a lot of things to my ṣẹlẹ̀.
A lot ló lè ṣẹlẹ̀. Ẹlòmíì wà lórí nǹkan tó pé iná yẹn ló fi ń mínú ilé tó ra wà tẹ́yìn rí bí ilé yẹn o. Tó pé tíná yẹn báyìí kú báyìí tó bá tètè dá padà báyìí òkú máa sùn lọ ni. And all these things matter, but in Nigeria they don't care.
Wọ́n care. Now let me share my personal experience with you.
Please.
I have 2 kids. One of my kids is a sickle cell. Their mother is no more.
Wow,
I cannot take care of this little girl. I have to take her back to Nigeria. But before then, I register her here.
Okay.
Do you believe me that every single month, oògùn tọmọdé yìí máa lò? That girl has been in Nigeria now for over 5 years. Oògùn tọmọdé yìí máa lò every single month. Wọ́n máa send ẹ̀ wá sílé mi.
Medical kìíní supply wow.
They give her to them. I'm not lying to you. They
You are
give
not,
her
because I know.
benefit.
See, even you in America, in America, to pay owó tẹ̀yìn náà lórí healthcare ń bẹ̀ yẹn bàbá ní àwa ọ̀fẹ́ ní níbí. It's the same here.
Every single month, non send ogun, non send ogun. Wọ́n tún fún wọn lówó gbígbà. So I have to be shipping the money. I have to be shipping the prescription to Nigeria every single month. So the only thing don't lack in during the checkup, I have to go back to Nigeria, pick the lady up, bring her back here, medical checkup, and take her back.
Yeah. Àní ìlú yìí ni mo ti mọ̀ wípé àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n ní kí ló ti ń pè àwọn tí wọ́n máa ń ṣe insulin àbí kí ló máa tún fún wọn yẹn náà, right? Like ó kàn máa gún rẹ̀ lábẹ́rẹ́ báyìí, like ìlú yìí ni mo ti mọ̀ pé àwọn máa ní serious health care.
Àwọn tó ní sugar,
low level sugar or something, ẹ ti get nsìn. Like ìlú yìí mo ti mọ̀ pé oyè yín sìn àwọn èèyàn máa ní life threatening health problem ó ti yé yín wọ́n dẹ̀ máa live life on normally ṣe get nsìn tó yẹ pé because wọ́n ti fi wọ́n sórí line tó yẹ pé àfi tí nǹkan yẹn bá stop lọ́ máa kú àfi tí accident bá dẹ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ ìyẹn nìkan dẹ̀ ni but ní Nàìjíríà ó ti gbọ́jọ́ kú ni and people they don't see that pé àwọn deserve better wọn ò rí bẹ́ẹ̀.
So just imagine tó lóyún bá lọ sí hospital Nàìjíríà mi rírí láyé mi ṣé náà wàá tún máa bú pé kí ló ń ṣe nígbà tó ń bẹ̀ sùn dá wà ń bẹ̀ ni.
Ìyẹn wá dàbí culture ṣe ni dàbí normal thing. Even olóyún kan máa expect pé olóyún mi àmà sọ wípé ẹ bá mi dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn nọ́ọ̀sì yẹn o wọ́n náà ìsinmi gan wọ́n ti ẹ̀ bú mi wọ́n ti ẹ̀ ṣẹ́ni tó kàn help me wọ́n kàn help me ẹ máa wọ pé ó jẹ́ lọ dúpẹ́ lọ because that's a shocker pé o lọ hospital o. Wọ́n wá kí ẹ fún ẹ o wọ́n expect kọ́kọ́ búlì ẹ wọ́n láti búlì ẹ látẹ̀ ṣe ń kọ́ tálẹ̀ pè síbẹ̀ ẹ̀rìn jọ ẹ̀rìn síwájú jàre.
That's another thing. Michael,
sir?
I met a man about 4 years ago here. That man is a 45 years man.
Wow.
So-called number 150 now.
Wow.
Because when he got here,
Nigeria lead there. The world is leading him. 5-0 ahead.
5-0.
God.
Ahead. Ọ̀gbẹ́ni lọ sí law school. Kò rí fi ṣe. But God was so kind. He won a visa lottery. He came back here.
Oh.
So what do you intend to do now? Ó fẹ́ lọ máa ṣe nǹkan míì. Ó ní ṣé òun tún lè lọ tún padà ní tìbó lòun ti fẹ́ rówó mú yà. They are grants.
Yes.
Since tó òṣìṣẹ́ owó tíṣẹ́ tó ń ṣe. O pa enough. Go and go to the local go mo sọ fún pé go here. Wọ́n máa fún ẹ lówó wàá padà school yẹn. Mayegun, as I'm talking to you today, this man is an immigration lawyer.
See?
He's doing extremely well. So hope tí Nàìjíríà ti pa l'America jí padà 4 years ago.
Equalize ló tún pass yẹn sìn yín o.
So equalize. If you see this man now, man, testimony ọ̀rọ̀ ẹ̀ nìkan pé ṣé òun rè.
Opportunity yẹn làwọn èèyàn wà understand nílé. They don't understand.
Kò ń ṣe miracle. You can be anything you want. You don't have to know anybody. In order for you to
if the system says if the system says help this kind of people budget here kò sí chairman nubẹ tó máa kó yẹn sápò it goes straight into that project tó yẹn bá tán wọ́n máa kọ síbẹ̀ pé àwọn ti run out of owó ṣó yẹ yín sìn even ẹ̀yin tẹ́jẹ́ beneficiary wọ́n sọ fún mi pé owó táwọn gbà budget lóṣù yìí kò lè ka oye táwọn máa ń ṣe lọ́dọọdún àwọn fẹ́ cut number yẹn like you will know that owó yóò lọ sápò ẹnì kankan add the benefits.
àjọmọ̀rí ni Mayegun
get
because in my own constituency níbi tí mò ń gbé ń bí every single 3 months náà máa ń ṣe town hall meeting everybody's opinion matters kò sí first class to sí second class opinion nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe ń city rè nǹkan tá a báyìí la fẹ́ ṣe. If I stood up and said no, we can't do it that way, what have I take for you?
I didn't want to nígbà ìyàwó lọ́wọ́ sir. Ẹ sà wọ́n nígbà ìyàwó lọ́wọ́ ni wọ́n ti gbé idea city hall wá. Ṣòye yín sìn.
Right.
Now Tẹ́bá wo gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ń sìn. Mo yẹ sáré sọ pé ilẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹn, ọmọ Yorùbá ni yín o, ṣẹ́gẹ̀t. Mo fẹ́ kẹ́ sáré kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ scan through ní brain yín. Apart from Èkó, tẹ́tí ń gbọ́ City Council, ṣe gbọ́ City Council anywhere mọ́ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá.
It's nowhere. It's not the same City Council that went to the other day.
Òun lọ wá sọ di local government. Bó ṣe mọ̀ pé Èkó náà ní local government. But there is also a city council tó dàbí pé gbogbo wọn láti pàdé ń bẹ̀ àti governor ni o, àti councillor ni o, àti everybody ni o, àtàràlú.
Right.
Ṣé wọn kàn níyẹn lẹ́kọ̀ọ́?
But ó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ but
function ẹ̀tẹ̀ kàtẹ̀ ṣe fi function ẹ̀ ṣe ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì. But I'm just saying pé the symbolism of city council in a community. Naming anything. It's where you discuss your community issue and the government on the other hand, they make funds available for those communities according to their needs. Sure, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like that idea in Yoruba land is not alien to us. We just never developed it. With the successful political a different thing. But again, Baba, here we are. So I'm with you.
If we keep saying it, we are just they said experience the best lesson.
Yes.
Really like that. We are seeing what we are seeing. Only anybody now. Nigeria have the resource to be one of the best countries.
Can àwọn èèyàn kan wà àwọn kan wà tó yẹ pé àwọn parent tàwa kan wà tó yẹ pé àwọn tó ní luck tó lọ school oyè yín sì kí gbogbo wọn tó yí padà o. Wọ́n sọ fáwa pé káwọn tó ṣetán ní school àtọ̀ ní options tiwa àgàtọ́ wa jẹ́ ọmọ tó brilliant o máa ní option pé ṣo fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ni àbò fẹ́ lọ lóyìnbó fún scholarship like it was always there. She get but look at the graduate of today. They are just hearing it now and they've never seen anything like that in their life. She won't deserve any.
My brother went to school. That was the only person my father was able to send to school among 6 kids. That man got out of Olabisi Onabanjo University with first class upper since 1996. Till I'm talking to you now, Ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ori certificate yẹn fi ṣiṣẹ́. Ó wá ń sọ pé iṣẹ́ ayé ni. Nàìjíríà gbàyọ̀ sí nìyẹn pé àwọn ayé kan ló ń tẹ̀lé ayé. So I now bring the man back to reality. Mo ní ayé kọ́ o. Ibi tẹ́ kẹ́ máa fèsì tẹ́ kẹ́ da ìpè yín sí. Orí àwọn ìjọba wa yìí ni o.
Gangan ni ẹ̀dẹ̀ mọ̀ wọ́n tó bá ń sọ pé ìjọba amorúkọ wọn ẹ̀dárúkọ wọn you know as they are closer to you.
Wọ́n fẹ́ pé on the normal day fún àwọn olórí burúkú ìṣèkúrọ́ fún 2015 fáwọn máa ṣe refinery every year. At least if
they did that one, no, God bless you, sir. Even if that one they did 7 refineries today would have helped the economy of Nigeria.
Do you know how many employment economy? So people. Uninterrupted power supply. People will invest in Nigeria because a lot of people. I used to work with a telecommunication company here when I first moved here, Mayegun.
Yes, sir.
So these people are contemplating of we refurbish iPhones. So these people are contemplating of going to one of these African countries to open another branch. Wọ́n wo Nàìjíríà wọ́n rí pé Nàìjíríà economy náà wà òkè ńgbà yẹn wọ́n ní pé but tán máa lọ wo Nàìjíríà pé wọn kò sí insurance company tó máa insure anybody tán máa kidnap yẹn o let's go to South Africa. So we've lost so many opportunities to bring development to that country just because our selfish government, you know. But the only thing we could do now, you and I.
Yes,
you are the driver now and the conductor. I know you are the driver because when if you are lying, if you tell people lies every day, we are correspond. I hear the truth from you every single day. You are just like my drug. If I didn't hear you one day, I feel like why am I going to be online? Something is missing. I want to hear you are like the church. I need to go to church every day.
Bless you.
So you put that message to me. It's sticking to me. So if I'm talking to people, maybe one of my friends, family, I share your opinion with them. Let them see what did they think. So so thank you, Michael. Thank you.
Thank you very much as well for all your contribution. Sorry, go on.
There's nothing anybody can say. And so when you say the truth,
yes,
it's always going to be the truth. And
you don't have to remember anything. That's what they say. They say if you say the truth, you don't have to remember anything.
And it's just a common sense for someone that can think, sit down and think. Look at the way things going in life. Which could give me a comeback. So
iṣẹ́ ayé ni ogun là ń lò àwọn ogun àwọn babaláwo yẹn gbóná irọ́ ni gbogbo ẹ̀. A lot of you are already setting yourself up to be scammed by them. You just don't know.
So you understand?
With the right information. Yeah, with the right information, majority of you will see that there is no jazz, there is no voodoo, there's nothing they are using on you, but just the power they have over you. Economic power, poverty, and the rest of those.
The politician
they will never again. I get it.
So kò sí yẹn àwọn náà lọ tún máa lọ sí bẹ́ẹ̀ náà máa tún campaign fún wọn tún gbogbo yẹn.
àwọn àjẹgàn ló máa front àgbà wa yé wà lẹ́yìn yẹn ó ti fún wa ní màálù dúdú méjì ó yá lọ ṣe nǹkan tó bá ń wù ẹ́ lọ jí gbogbo bílíọ̀nù tó bá fẹ́ àṣegbé la ṣe fún ẹ irú level yẹn.
Now New Year's Eve tí wọ́n ń bọ̀ ń sin pẹ̀lú ọ̀rọ̀ èpo tó wà ń lẹ́lẹ̀ yìí sìn wọ́n máa jẹ fó ìyá.
ẹ wo ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbé another one. Thank you so much.
Michael. Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
And you too. Thanks so much. And my regards to everyone around there. In Louisville, you said. Louisville. I think I pronounced it right. However, hello there.
Hello, my good general.
The Prince Judgeman.
My good Baba, hello.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine, sir. You?
Well, I'm still here. Thank you.
I beg this Buhari, when you are showing him, I don't know if he's in this world or is another world.
Okay.
You know, it's criminal. You know, he just behaves as if he's an innocent, very innocent young child that doesn't know anything at all that is going on. Somebody who is the president.
And he signed a law.
Everything that is going on.
He signed a law that is never implemented. And he said, morality. Make all of us just get conscience. I know everybody can do whatever they like anyway, but make una get conscience. Is that a country? That's why I didn't focus on him. I want people to actually see through what they are into. And how much of them who probably still hoping on Nigeria should understand that that's what they are signing up for. That's what you are up for, okay? Just go for it and keep your poverty. Yeah, go on.
You know, the funny thing is that the way he just spoke and he left, I just look at him and say, look, this man, in fact, you know, every week, they do bring a security report to Buhari every week of everything that is happening, that is going on in every.
They are not posting the pictures of those people where they go to land, even though the terrorists are still slaughtering people and killing people and kidnapping and the rest of that. They are no longer showing all those well-staged what's it they call them? Service ships, they call them. A joke.
You know, say Baba, they don't tell all the media, make them no report anything. All the killing of the Fulani Janja weed. They don't show them now. Anybody that report anything, they will fine them 5 million. So all of them are just keeping quiet. You know. This Buhari is, I don't know the kind of human being that man is. You know Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was doing well in London, I don't know how he could carry himself. go greet
Enter
Buhari
Buhari
for
and
Nigeria. You know, he been nobody say he greet am finish. He go prostrate for him again. And that one I can't kill that guy. Since then that guy came back. Now so far love. And just the beat even small picking they be all in face. Anyway we go match now lose. Kelechi and Co. They play what they go play World Cup. They do well or JJ. I think Buhari carry him bad love with the laugh face like goose. That's why he go call them. Immediately he call these boys in bad luck, go jam them for where they play ball.
right.
That make Nigeria no there for World Cup. As we speak, so they hear them, Baba.
I'm with you.
You see, the truth is this: our people, I don't know.
I was expecting you to go a little bit further apart from those ones say a touch naira losing value. A touch Nigeria crude oil, Nigeria don't make money from the crude oil anymore. A touch
crude
Nigeria border everywhere. You know, now that kind of thing, because to me, anything we in touch. But some said that a touch Nigerian railway. I said, you better don't say that loud and clear. Because where is the railway taking you? To the den of your kidnappers. Go on.
You know, Baba, now the Fulani nepotism, they carry and saturate the whole Nigeria. You know, everybody count hands up.
And now,
so,
we touch Pastor Ruga. Pastor Ruga turned to professor where they share 10,000 naira for markets. Easy. Everything he touched. Everything he touched. Downgraded.
Honestly, have you noticed that all the people that are in APC, even in Gige that did well when he was in Anambra. That man, if you see him talk now, he's talking like I can't understand whether he's a human being or another person.
That one general one though. Okay, there's something called Buharism. Buharism is a brain-eating disease. Okay, and then it causes a lot of disorientation. And the moment you join, to know that somebody is actually like a typical cyberbarian. Okay, Buharism, the virus called Buharism, right? You notice through their, what they say. It doesn't matter how educated they are.
That thing is inside cow. That is inside cow meat. This cow meat that they are.
No, our scientists haven't said where. But I don't know. Maybe from your own lab. They don't discover signal from the cow. But in our own this, we never check which of this in they carry on. But now Buharism, brain eating.
You know, my good general. Yeah. Why me? I discovered saying a cow. You know, say all these Fulani, they feed the whole one stick. They can control cow. We reach 5 million. They go. Are you getting me? So, so now that cow mentality, cow this nice. They kind of give all Nigeria where they shop. You know, everybody know what it. Everybody know understand what they do. Everything they tell them. Even
our scientists are listening to you. We have to do some tests on their cows. And if that's the case,
honestly,
problem solved.
Honestly,
problem solved in the end.
Honestly, they need to do a research on that because if you look at Nigeria, do you know the reason why they must do check on that? Serious check,
right?
Because before they started the election,
right?
Our pastors, our imam, all the professors, all of them say no restructuring, no election.
I remember.
No restructuring, no election. This was the music that we are singing.
Right.
And they all know so that is the only thing that can stop this Janjaweedism way of a life that the Nigeria are into now. You know, now as we speak, Buhari has not withdrawn the terrorists in our forest, all the Fulani terrorists they brought from Nigeria.
They haven't been withdrawn, no.
We don't know who is the Nigeria. Nigeria, we don't know who they have. Immediately they come in, they give them passport. They give them a national ID card. They are
They don't
automatic
register them to vote as
Nigeria.
well. The boys will kill Deborah. The boys will kill Deborah. They say they don't rush to Niger, so they can't touch them. They don't go in Papa house for Niger. From Sokoto to Niger, how fast? How you take cross the border? They say border no day. Because if you go Buhari house in Kassin in Daura, they say if you did the front house for the parlor, in Nigeria you did. If you mistakenly waka enter kitchen, say you can't go see some cow for backyard, Baba na Niger Republic you did so it was like a total fraud.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Now one chance to buy a good. Now one chance to everybody enter for Nigeria as we did so.
Baba,
If
we enter one chance, and we don't say, voila, I mean, we don't realize in that one chance we did. Or if we plenty inside the bus, before then gag us, before then kill us, some of us go break the door, break the window. So if that's not waiting, they go on with that now, ahead of that year 2023. If you ask me, sure you get. But it's all playing out. It's all playing out. Eventually, I believe that they are going to outplay themselves. Whether we do anything or we don't do
realize
anything. It's coming home. Don't worry. Prince.
I pray they realize before it's too late. I pray they realize.
Let me take another one. Prince Judgeman.
Thank you, sir. Well done. Well done.
Some said that, how did you keep a straight face? We were just talking like, say, I was like, well, I'm having a conversation. And it's not a funny conversation, okay? So I believe that the Buhari Dins, Buhari Didiris, the Buhari Denotus, the Buhari Dijatus, the Buhari Shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unekaharis, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, and the humbled slaves, even their uncles and aunties abroad, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, all of the clans of Sai barbarians and the rest of them. I have told you, suffering from Buhariism, Buharitism or Buhariism. They don't tell me tonight, say, if you be like mad cow disease. A mad cow disease is not same as a brain-eating disease that kind of confused everyone who confesses to be APC. You should notice, this is not funny, it's not a joke. Pay attention to anybody who tells you it's APC or defending Tinubu or defending Adams Oshiomhole or Aregbe Mugbonio or Isaleko Aristotle. Who else is there? Even Ingige that Prince Jejeman just mentioned now. Okija Shatabandu. Look around you. Even the one that said that, see, somebody who is a professor, he became minister under Bokohari. Do you know what his project was going to be? He said that by 2020, Nigeria will be producing pencil. That was 7 years ago. She said that Nigeria will be producing pencil. Minister of Technology and whatever, Science and Technology. It's a joke to them in a way. It's just like an F-top one, if you ask me. So, sorry, I missed that. Meanwhile, for those of us who are still here, okay, you can see like that broadcast, and I'm going to. I don't know if I should take this. Is that Larry? Oh, Larry. Anyway, I am going to call it a night. Something came up as usual. Okay. I'm going to say thank you very much for spending your evening with me this evening. I shared my view in detail. Sometimes when I speak, it's just like, I just go here, go there. But at the end of the day, if this is your first time, right? I'm going to say, spend the time of, let's say 10, 15 minutes by listening to my Egun uninterrupted like that. You are likely not going to leave. Okay. I know you have been calling all this night, and I actually thought I should, leave, but I'm glad you called back. Okay. Because how are you?
Michael.
Baba, how are you?
Are you still online?
I am. I was about rounding up then. I'm like, I got these two people who were calling me, and somehow, right? I'll tell you what happened. Do you want me to tell you, right? I've seen that you've been trying to call in all this while, but I've taken out like 3 calls even after you, right? Now, when I was about rounding up, you disappeared, and I'm like, if I take another one, you're gonna be calling again and again, and I'm gonna feel bad. I didn't take it, so I was gonna round up.
I need to apologize to you.
Okay, it's all right. I mean, how are you, sir? Thanks for calling back.
It's not. I wanted to call you after the show to have a personal discussion with you, which I've always liked to have for a long time. But
yeah, that's fine. We'll do that. Go on. Sorry.
Let's do it tomorrow or whatever.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks so much, Demba. What happened is that I have Taiwo trying to call in as well. I know I have dropped that. So, but Tokumbo, Ola Tokumbo, we would have a chat, soon. I'm gonna say that. Again, is sounding somehow awkward, but I was gonna take one more and then call it tonight. But it seems that was targeting that. Is that you done? Anyway, thank you so much for spending your evening with me once again. I'm gonna see you some other time. I've not heard any kind of a go ahead or approval as I would want to hear, right? So which means that we can say there is no fundraiser for now. Okay. So until I get the green light that we can indeed do that. Okay. Because there's no point in trying to make the announcement and then people don't turn up. I don't like that. And that's something I'm so careful of before I finally say, okay, yeah, let's do it. I thought I could say that earlier, but for now, I'm not going to. But I'm going to wait until we have enough people who are going to say, yeah, let's do it.
Hello, General.
How are you, sir? You finally managed to sneak in and get in, okay? I was rounding up. Now, the thing is that...
I was trying.
Okay, then. I'm glad you did. So, how are you, sir? I
just left a platform with some friends, and one of the friends was trying to give me bloated OB again, and I told the person, I said, Nigeria problem is foundational.
Yes. Cynthia Maxwell. I don't know why you asked that, but I don't know. I don't know if I should see it as okay. I'm not going to see it as somebody who is trying to pull my leg. Okay, that question if I'm excited about the Yoruba Nation rally, I don't know why you asked that. If I have spent my evening telling people why Yoruba Nation is inevitable, important, and why they should join the fray by understanding why we need it. So if you suddenly just turn around to come and ask me if I'm excited, honestly, what came to my mind is not nice because I don't see that way. But I'm going to see it as an innocent question, okay? Because I mean, how could you spend the night, Sataiwo? How could you spend the night all this while? And you're asking Mayegun that is he excited about Yoruba Nation rally? Like, is that a question or an insult or something that is more like rhetorical?
It's not really we need a system that will give us our nation. We need a structure that will give us our nation.
But why ask me about rally? Like somebody is in that comment, like, are you excited? Now, what comes to my mind, right? It's just that once I say that, right, it's going to be heard and say, Amayegun said, even though it's not that good, because I'm like, why are you asking me that?
We've gone beyond that. We have gone beyond that, Mayegun. We've gone beyond that.
Everybody can still hear you
so
loud and clear.
If the person is asking ignorantly, we will answer. If the person is asking to pull leg, we will still answer.
Let me tell you why I actually pointed that out. Yeah, after our program on the People's Parliament,
day before
2 days
yesterday.
ago. Yeah. So I was reading the comments of people who are probably watching after. Okay, and somebody came there.
Okay.
And that person wrote this long epistle, right? And that epistle, it was like, Mayegun, you sat there. Princess is insulting our mama Onidiria or something, right? And he said, do you know that it's because of this thing that Princess just said now that he has stopped people from going ahead with the declaration rally. I was like, who is this person? Should I reply or just ignore? So when somebody now come and say, are you excited about the rally? That's what came to my mind, like, but again, I didn't want to say that, but I just said that anyway. But the reason is because somebody actually is going to blame Princess for the reason why their declaration didn't work. Do you understand that now? So you probably have an idea where this kind of question is coming from. That's why I had to read it out. But Sataiwo, I've stolen a lot of your time, and we are rounding up already. So
I told you 3 days ago.
Oh, you could disappear, but what depends on real money?
If like this will, if what Princess said made impact, that shows that we should do more.
It's not true. They just need somebody to blame.
Let us assume that what they are saying is true or not.
Okay.
We will continue to say our truth.
We will continue, yes.
Yes, that is what I told you. We will continue to armor our truth. Whether they are twisting it or not twisting it, there is nothing you can do to the truth.
It doesn't really matter. I get you.
Mayego, just give me 2-3 minutes. Can we picture a country where we say we have 774 local governments in Nigeria?
That's right.
Let's assume where local government is allowed to have enough fund, and the local government chairman and the local government legislature, they are managing each local government very well. Local government is doing best in education, doing best in security. By the time we synergize every local government working together, will the nation not be beautiful?
It should be, and the poverty, at least the poverty won't be this mightily. But poor people, they are other part of the world now.
There will not be competitive. There will be positive competition among the local governments.
I bet you, sir.
Imagine Odogbolu community now. They have the legislative power, executive power to make Odogbolu the best. They will be competing with you. Odogbolu all over the world. They will want to come and do something in Odogbolu. Am I not speaking, sir?
You are. Do you even want me to give you a figure? Let me give you a figure. Let me give you a figure.
From the top.
Yeah, let me give you a figure.
I'm with you.
Yeah. You see, Odogbolu local government, since I left Nigeria, which I've been monitoring the allocation every now and then, part of what actually got me so angry, when people don't understand why I'm always angry and I'm not interested in their political money. Because the reason why I'm angry is because of how they are using your public money already. Sure, you get. Odogbolu local government, back then, as far back as 2001, 2002, Odogbolu local government was collecting over 80 million, 70 million. And then 2003 came. Benga Daniel came. Odogbolu started getting over 120, 150 million every month. Well, you see, you know one thing? Benga Daniel will take all the money, give 50 million to his wife, Gateway Front Foundation, who is going to say we're carrying out health care in Odogbolu local government. Health care.
I'm with you.
They will take 50 million. Benga will tell the local government chairman back then, he will give them maybe 20 million. Then any project that is above 2 million naira, they must bring it to Abeokuta. That was how we began to descend. And whatever happened to the rest of the money, nobody knows. Sure, you get.
Same thing. Yeah. Local government. Same thing. Same thing. Londo. Same thing.
For years now. Now, time you ban so quick,
hospital, clinic,
and everybody's like, I'm like, you know, long go appointment, councillor, chairman, because that is state, governor, fun share, because you got to come sir.
But you forget to look. That is what I'm saying. That you build the house from the roots. Even if a tree will grow from the root. But Nigeria, you want to be building from the center. Abuja will be doing their own. Toba to the white state, they will be doing the same thing. Hello?
I'm following you, so please go on.
That is what I tell people. When I tell people, this country cannot work. Finally, you know what we have to do? I told somebody, Nigerians are not normal. But báwo ni Nigerians ṣe máa jára ọgbà? Iṣẹ́ yẹn làwa máa ṣe. Educating, countering, opening people's eyes.
We have to.
That nation cannot work as it is. Kò lè work.
And it's not about saying pé kò lè work. We need to show to people how we arrived at why pé kò lè work. Kì í ṣe pé bóyá pé à ń wish pé kó má work yẹn o. Kì í ṣe pé bóyá èèyàn wish pé kó má work. Kò ṣe work. No. Whether we wish you, whether we don't wish you, what we are telling you is that it can't work. And this is why. This is how. Don't ignore the obvious. They can't ignore the obvious by then wishing that something work when we know it can't. I will continue doing that.
That is what I am saying. But the money could work. I want reason the moment give.
Yes.
Well, how many are these terrorists? Imagine Odogolu, you have police in Odogolu. The police in Odogolu is strong. One manage Odogolu,
and the police in the Jebode, the police in the Shagamu, they can share information within that territory.
What they synergize, technology there to work. Technology to work. So where will be holy? Where will be holy?
Or how
the police will be generating jobs
easily in such arrangements? How?
How? So it's not a rocket science for a nation to work, but the structure we have put down is collapse prone. That's what I was telling some friend on WhatsApp group. And I say this system is collapse prone. Things will collapse this way. Things cannot go this way. I don't know if the governors are trying. What are they trying? Somebody is putting the state in his pocket.
Go and meet your state governor. They are trying here in our own state. I say, one sure no. They just commissioned new road. Really? What about the people that are living in the communities where they are doing their fake project and all that? How is their lives? People don't. Well, again, they didn't.
Sorry, finally, sir. Do you know something that is paining me about this Europe?
Yes, sir. Many of us have never experienced good life. Even rich people in Nigeria, they don't know that until they leave Nigeria, they will tell you, we don't have any real good life here.
It's true.
So where are we going to then get the motivation to be asking for something better, other than for people like us to keep showing and keep talking? Even if it's sounding so stupid to some of them, we can't stop talking. Because good life exists. And it's not a rocket science.
Let me give you an instance now. Can we say, let's speak Odogolu local government now. Can we say, Odogolu, dedicate? It may not feed the whole of Ogun State, but there will be a maximum output of agriculture in just within some land that are available in Odogolu. I don't need Lagos State governor.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, right?
I don't need somebody from Abeokuta. I don't need somebody from Ijebu-Ode. In that Odogolu, there is a potential of food generation that will fight hunger. Why are we not maximizing even Odogolu?
Yes, sir. There is one document here. I don't know how easy I'm going to be able to grab it, but I'm going to try while I talk, okay? Now, you see this document, I wrote it when I was still in Ijebu. Now, the purpose of that document is just the details of my activity as a young boy back in Odogbo. Okay. Sure you get. Now, you see, in this,
I'm with you.
I started an organization, and it was called Progressive Youth Movement. The idea is to get youth involved in
I'm with you.
Community building, policy formulations, involvement in politics to understand why they are involved and what they are looking for. Yeah?
Yes.
And I wrote a constitution. You won't believe it. I was a young boy then, right? I wrote a constitution. This was way back, so I traveled with it. Sorry. Now, you see this constitution, right? That's not the only thing I wrote, too. I call it prospectus.
I'm with you.
Our prospectus constitution, right? That's not the only thing, right?
Yes.
Now, where I'm going exactly is this. In my own time, I developed an idea of how to end poverty in Odogbolu local government using agriculture by creating Yeah, by creating cottage farms across the, at least we have about out of 15 wards that we have in Odogbolu local government, 12 of them, they are mostly rural areas. Okay.
Yes.
So for us in Odogbolu local government, it was like a land everywhere. But I was like, how do you? I was still in Ijebu. I haven't left Nigeria. I was like, how do you encourage young people to go back to farms? How about you build cottage industry where they are growing a certain crop, as they are harvesting them, processing them in the same farm, they can even start turning them into some finished product like chocolate.
And you even put yeah.
I have all of them here. I wrote them 20 years ago. That was to tell you that even me in Odogbolu, I could think of things to work. But back then in Odogbolu, I didn't know that the reason why all this idea will never work is because Odogbolu local government only exists on paper. The owners who collect the resources, some of them will never even visit Odogbolu before they collect the cash on it. I wouldn't know then.
That is it. That is it. So how will a nation work like that? Imagine what we all have this template. That was the day I was telling a friend, Moni, do you know that we can make every pupil in our primary school in a particular local government to be raising 2 chicks in 2 months? MRB the case for pupil kokan. There is an animal husbandry department. Our experts want to raise something like broiler. Baby stage is going on. Feed them to maturity. So every puppy can generate 2-4 in 2 months. Can we say there will be hunger again?
No.
Mayegun, we are already discussing how our Yoruba nation will work. We have to build our nation from roots.
We need to put words in the book and be able to start reading all these our ideas, and at the same time pass them on to people to become their way of life. Because when Yoruba nation comes, now the people go live inside them all. And if the people living inside the nation are not well informed, we might actually be headed for the doom that some of us are not thinking about. That's why Mayegun is important. I am so important in this journey. I have to speak exactly what some others cannot explain to you. Because you see, when everybody gets the message, it's going to be like an expressway, like that. But we need that right information.
That is why, hello.
Yes, sir.
Finally, that is why somebody said you are the driver. It was the conductor. Lale, do you remember?
Who said that? I didn't remember, sir. No.
That is why, please, delegate to us. Delegate. We have some people that are committed in the temple of truth. Yes. Someone like me, if you can delegate something to me, okay, how can we transform a particular local government just with tree planting? Mayego, you know this thing is possible. Biotechnology has transformed life. If we decide, okay, we want to raise 1,000 orange trees, and we give a particular local government in Yoruba, hybrid in you, also within 6 and 8 months, So if we target 1,000 in our book,
but you need resources to pursue them. Lórí platform yìí.
No, we don't have the book. Idea to go, we have not turned it to book.
We will do that. We will do that. But there's something I want to say, on this platform. Emile sọ pé a ní èèyàn mẹ́ta ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ tó ti pledge ilẹ̀ fún wa. Méjì wà ní, ìkan wà ní Ilé Ifẹ̀. Méjì wà ní Ọ̀ṣun, ìkan wà ní Ilé Ifẹ̀. Ìmọ̀ bí tí kejì yẹn wà ní Ọ̀ṣun. Mo láwọn èèyàn tó ti fún wa nílẹ̀ ní Ìbàdàn. Aláwọn èèyàn tó even princess wa gan, òun gan ti ní ilẹ̀ tó jẹ́ àwọn ilẹ̀ kan tó yẹ pé ẹ lè lo eléyìí, ẹ lè lo wọn for temporary àwọn ideas ten sọ yìí, right? But you and I know that wípé if you don't have the resources to push all these ideas, idea náà wọ́n máa jẹ́ sá. But ẹ máa gbọ́ sẹ́, kò ṣe ní pé I agree. She gets.
Yes.
But at the same time, and we are very careful because of what today period says. So when the time is right, take that from me. When the time is right, we can start implementing all these ideas with the little resources we have without having to make it, you know what I mean? Just for the the first step or something like a trial step to get to know that
feasibility study.
The visibility, sir. So without resources, sir, no matter how big or small our ideas are, we can implement them. Yes, sir.
Hello, sir. I understand you. Let me quickly give you some practical steps about this thing. Implementation was a lot. But for instance, now saying, let's assume our project let us put them into writing, turn it to a line kind. It will not be a book, it can be a booklet.
Okay.
As an action plan, so you may not do all. I will do this part. I can put it into writing. Somebody will put another one into writing. Then we come with a small booklet. We will know that in the temple of truth, we already have a published. And we have a published booklet. It will not be many pages. People, okay, so even like security now, there are some security experts. So we have the ideas we have. Let's transform them into writing and have a booklet. If it can be a book,
we can begin to pick and say, okay, which one are we doing?
Yes. They will now say, okay, kila le shensin, bola ti ma bere, kila le she.
Anyway,
so you cannot do all because you have a family, you have your work. Yes. You can delegate to all of us. Ele mako 2 pages, ele mako 4 pages. And you marry security. Even if it's one local government, we can do a feasibility of how we can secure Yoruba land. Local government to make the place secure. We will learn from it, but we need a book. We need something that will be in writing.
Yeah,
that will be eventually published and circulated.
Hang on, there is a work we did. We even paid for it.
Okay.
This year.
Okay, sir.
It could be called the visibility studies of this crisis of insecurity. I still have some of these details.
Yes.
So we did that in Osun, we did that in Oyo, we did one in Ogun. Sure, you get with
let's publish. Let's publish and let's put it in a book and
use
publish
some of the
and circulate
from there to formulate the idea you are talking about now. That would then help us.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. So yeah, we'll work on that.
Because if our ideas are in abstract or in hand of one person, we need to complete. Let's have it in a booklet. Let's send it to everybody. Can you copy it? Whatever will copy it. It will go around, and then we will know we can do something now. Even in Tababeshe first phase, well, in Tababeshe, 20 million Loma no wow. Ama bere. Adema pari. Adema sari. So we get 3 million. 20 million. Fine. So we get 1 month in the farm. 20 million. You oma bere face ye. Ade pari.
So there should be a template that we can work with, and then we can have a target.
Yeah. Okay. So we then go stage by stage. Project over my 100 million. Need to work about 100 million. Project over my 1 million. You over handle security area. Okay.
I think I get you now.
So if I get 500,000 Loma Nawa. So I give 500,000 Loma, we will start it and finish it.
And finish that one, yeah? Okay. Anyway, we can always raise anytime. It's just like a response will determine how fast I'm sharing it. Now, you can't one already buy for the end of the year. Yes. How to reach out to when you want to answer any little share around between now and the 20th of December. Through open, but time what law. Okay. So it's one of the areas saying not
please, last thing, sir.
Yeah.
Last thing, sir.
Please.
Last thing, sir. Please, I want to beg you. Someone like me, someone like you means me, you. Between $5 and $20 low shoe. Kima dedicated. There are people like that, but when you don't No, what happened is this. Mayego.
Okay. Fair explain for you. Because mo mọ nǹkan right? Democratic sọ̀rọ̀ nípa pé everything bá set to normally, right? Everybody can set up direct debit. Show you insane.
Yes.
And then we can okay. Because
what I'm trying to say is no Catholic standard thing. Okay. Like the way you play the jingles. I know you can't be talking about money all the time. I know. We can have a short jingle of 3 to 5 minutes just to remind brethren and to volunteer to during your program. And you won't tell anybody. One account number within 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm happy to be
$20 there and $10. Okay, I get that.
Yeah, so it will just be a daily jingle. You can do a daily jingle. But we are doing this though. We are doing this. So when everybody hears it every day, mama will internalize.
Okay. Hopefully, Emma, response no, I think I get you. And I'll tell you, Emma,
Mayego, please, Elumza. Let me give you this. Don't worry about the rest. When come and build the DNA.
I worry.
I'm with you.
Sure you get. Because I am the one that this whole thing comes to. And you make it and say, oh, we are going to do something so time. There's always a target. Now, if we don't meet it, that's a fail on my own part. Even though it's people's money, okay? You do what you like with your money, okay? But personally, because I don't come out here to say, I have an idea, let us raise money. I have never done that. People have always been the one to say, Mayegun, why don't you let us do this? Mayegun, the moment I say it, people begin to think, Mayegun said. Now, if they don't respond nice, right? That is just to me like, they don't want it to look at it. I just put my name there to say we want to do something, we are not going to do it because people didn't respond. So it means to me. So that's why I'm always very careful. Hang on, sir. That's why I'm always very careful.
I have studied you. I understand you perfectly.
So that's why I'm not really motivated in asking. And that's why I don't talk about it all the time. Because I'm like, it's always voluntary. People should do it. If they say, Mayegoya leaders want to, you know what I mean? But if people don't respond...
Mayego, this is what I want you to realize. Mayego, contribution should be continuous, voluntary continuous, and you will not be talking about it every day. That's why I suggested the jingles.
Like I said,
just like we are.
Hang on for me for 1 second, right? Like I said, all this come to me.
Okay.
Would you say contribution is continuous if you receive a £5 donation in 3 weeks? When you're planning to do something that actually requires funding. So that's not motivating. That's what I'm telling you. That if the response, you see, if I sit down here now, if I sit down here and I say, hey, brethren, we need to do so and so, we can raise £1,000, £2,000 right now, yeah? But maybe not. But the moment everybody drops off here right now, the moment everybody drops off, yeah? If I don't say anything about it for another 1-2 weeks, you may not get £1 from anybody.
Yeah.
That's not motivating. No, that's not motivating. Don't say it's not motivating.
I understand.
So if somebody like me, for somebody like me, I won't just get up and then say, hey, today, okay, yeah, no, come on, it's not motivating. So that's why I don't talk about it all the time. But again,
that is the weakness we need to correct. Let me give you an instance now.
Okay.
By the time you have a jingle on this issue, there are some projects we feel, okay, we have a project we want to accomplish 2 weeks' time. Well, everybody, let's contribute. But I can tell you in Temple of Truth, there are people like me, whether you will have a project to pursue in the present manner, or a project that will come in the future, someone like me, I can say, look, I'm going to, whether there is a present project or a project to that may emerge, let this money be going into our purse every time. There are a good number of people with my mindset in anybody. Once a jingle plays, it will give them a reminder. You need the so people will voluntarily put £1 there, £2 there. Get about, hey, wow, I need 20 million for security. You need to call. we know that 20 million will be a time lag.
Get sir. Like,
okay.
I can't. Me only take it so I need to buy. Get. So to me, to somebody like me, yeah. Right?
Yes.
If the conclusion is that, for example, right? When that popped up, what I do is this: I throw it open. So I feel like maybe we could do that.
Yes.
Do you think we should? Can we do that? Now, if people respond back and say, yeah, sure, let's do it. I mean, now to me, that people responded is not what actually will make us do it. Sure, you get.
Yes.
It is how much they actually contribute towards it, because it's always going to be public. Yeah. Now, Now, to somebody like me, I'm not going to come back here again and be like, oh, we need so and so somewhere. So to me, I believe that is voluntary. The platform is there. Okay.
Yes.
So the moment I say it is enough for dedicated members to feel like, oh, I'm going to do it, or I'm going to do it next time. And people do that, too. I'm not saying they don't, too. But the thing is that I am not.
But it's like your issue is the constant reminder. You don't like the factor of constant reminder.
It puts me there as somebody who is, because somebody, right? You know one thing, it may be that moment that somebody who is watching my Eagle for the first time will turn on. So we want you to donate today because I just want to remind you that we need this money. We need to make sure this money. It may be that sin alone that person will listen to and be like, oh, damn it. This one is among those who are always asking for money. This sort. Anyway, let me go to another one. And the first impression lasts longer. And I care about those. Sure, you get. Simply because people, hang on, because people have bastardized this goodwill of the people. Sure, you get. People who gave willingly, freely. They have seen charlatans sort of, more or less like scam them of their money. So I don't want to be in that basket of somebody who constantly remind people that they have to. Maybe you don't get me.
Sir. If you don't have a bad name, you can never have a bad name. Should I emphasize it?
Okay.
If you don't have a bad name, you can never have a bad name permanently. Okay. Anybody who tries to give you a bad name will regret and come and apologize. Do you get me, sir?
I'm with you.
Once you know your purpose in life and you know that I'm going to do the right thing, somebody may have first impression about you. Maybe because of the scenario, the person seeing you for the first time.
They be speaking from experience from other people, and I don't want to be responsible for what people
but the person will be proved wrong. The person will be proved wrong.
Okay, I'll do just that.
Yes, because that is an area I have. Look, I have studied my gen. I've studied you deeply. I know where you are strong, and I know where you need to make strong.
You will know that I am not comfortable announcing donation all the time. It's one of my worst. Listen, it's always one of my worst moments when I sit down and I have to explain to people why we have to do something. I'm like, oh my God.
But Mayego, you know you are trusted.
I know.
The person who comes for the first time may not trust you, but people who have known you 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they know you are trusted. So if anybody is raising anything, the person will be in the very minority. It can't be in the majority. And the person will be correct. You know, some people came to our platform to be saying rubbish from the first time. But when you look, I monitor few people like that. They are posting change on the temple of truth. They came to be attacking us on our ideology. But they changed. They became, some of them are even as strong as we are now because they change over time.
Over time, yes. Anyway,
I don't want to be mentioning him. I've seen them on Temple of Truth.
What if we look on see one in Mr. Liberator? Yeah, let's okay, come on, you know what I mean? So let's call it a night. I heard everything you didn't say. I heard all you said.
No,
and I heard everything
we are moving.
Say. Okay,
we are moving. We are moving on. We are moving on.
It is who I am, and if all of us understand ourselves, we are likely going to go very far. And I bet we do.
You are why, you are why. Let us be having. Keep giving us. Keep posting the account to Roka Amarilo Jojuma. I'm about to $1 every
tempo. Notice mo man feel freer when I'm speaking about the politics and the people and the rest, but mo man feel a little bit taken back when I'm talking about money. Have you noticed that?
I noticed.
Have you? Good night.
But you cannot champion. You cannot champion your life goal without money, and you cannot do it alone.
Do. And it's just because I have my own money. And when you talk about public money, there's so much to answer for. And I am a responsible person. I am not afraid to be responsible for other people's money, right? But I want them to give it when they want to. Sure, you get. I don't want to keep reminding people. I don't want to keep flaunting it on their faces. I just want to mention it once, and then those who responded are those who
I know.
me.
That is why we need a system. That's why we need a system so that it will be a system and not you.
I will do all that. I will be happy. You know, I will kind of be so grateful if that happens. And like you said, I'll work around the
you are the one championing. They just go to the Gina, so that the system is not built around you. The system operates on its own.
Yes, I like that. Thank you so much.
Let's have our Yoruba Union on time. On time.
All right, sir. Anyway, thank you very much. You are a pusher. Now, somebody like you is supposed to represent Yoruba, where they are discussing Nigeria.
God has ordained you to lead us.
You don't go agree. Last, they go agree. I like that.
God has ordained you to lead us. We will get our Yoruba nation. So I'm not underrating my general. We will get it.
Okay.
But people lack leaders. Once they see that leadership in you and in some of who are your Ishomogbe, we will get our nation because that is where God has made us.
Okay. Thank you very much.
He made us a Yoruba. We must get our nation.
We'll take it off from here after tonight. A lot of people heard us. A lot of people could hear the back and forth of you and I. They could see through our passions and the rest. But nevertheless, like every other night, we've done our part. Let's hope for the best, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
You have a good evening.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Omano Joko, Alagbatawo is like somebody who is so persistent. He will never give up. He is always like that. And I'm actually going to have to develop another means of trying to maneuver him. He's always very, very persistent. And I like him for that. It's just that somehow he's asking me to sort of turn a blind eye to a part of me that so many of you have decided to make public. And that is side of me that is more like I don't push. Yes, I talk a lot of things and all of that. I push on the front of, I don't like pushing people to, I'm sorry I'm not saying that it sounded like a pushing, but to me personally, I just feel like if I mention something and 1 or 2, 3 people says, yeah, let's do it, then that's it. Maybe that's the majority. The response will determine that. But I don't know. I just have to leave my shell and come out. So somebody asked, the Empress, there is no target. Okay. So what I have in mind is that if we have up to 10 million naira, we might be able to feed up to 2,000 people across all the 6 regions of Yoruba land. And we can spread this whole thing by, 200 people, 150 people, 200 people here. That can be arranged. And that means that we can have other people helping us too. We will need more than that. But listen, if we have 5 million, if we have a 10 million naira worth of stuff to give to people, especially some of you watching me right now, and you could reach out and be part of it in your own your own community. I'll be fine. But it's all up to us. Sure, you hear me now. So I'll leave all of us with this, and I'm going to see you some other time. From here to all of you, good night. And if this conversation about us helping people back in Yoruba land this December, I'm going to raise it again tomorrow. Good enough. I'm going to say something about it tomorrow. And then if we say go ahead, Mayegun, the day after tomorrow, which is going to be on Sunday, I will say, now we can use the link. Now you can send anything you want to send in. And I can give account of that and say, how much are we actually doing? Or if we are not doing anything. But before all of that, just know that if we go ahead, that we want to help, on behalf of this platform, from our own purse, I can put down 1 million naira. Okay? So I'll put down 1 million naira from our money, and hopefully we'll be able to match that to help others. But again, it's all up to us. Okay? And thank you very much for your time, and good night from here.
làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Mayegun diary political.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgbọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dódòdó.
Mayegun diary na him be number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ̀rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní
bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
tẹnitẹni ọmọ máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù bọ́tà ń lé ibo níṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù máyé ń ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì o ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lúwẹ̀ túnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.